And thanks very much. We welcome you to Northern Louisiana. We are here in Ruston, just underway between Fresno State and Louisiana Tech. A pair of Bulldog squads on the field, and this is the first punt of the night off the first possession of the night as Chris Cagle is on the punt and back deep to receive Clifton Smith for Fresno State. Fresno State won the opening toss, elected to defer to the second half, and their defense went out and held Louisiana Tech 3 downs and out on their first set of downs. And now Smith dodging tackles to about the 18-yard line. I'm alone in the booth tonight. This is my dream come true. Yes, I am joined by Rod Gilmore and Trevor Maddox, but they will be spending the evening on the sidelines, and Rod is on the Fresno State sideline. Rod, this is a different perspective for you.
Yeah, well, you're up there by yourself. I'm down here close to the action, and it is a different perspective. One of the things I'll be looking for is Dwayne Wright, the fine running back for Fresno State. He's a powerful guy. How does he break tackles? What does it feel like? I'll be able to give you that. But I'll take it out.
First and 10 for Fresno at their own 18-yard line. It has been a tough season defensively for Louisiana Tech, something we'll be talking about with Trevor Maddox in just a moment. The sophomore Tom Brandstater on first down, underneath to his tight end Bear Pasco for a few yards, and on the Tech sideline is Trevor.
Yeah, I tell you, on this sideline, you'd better not blink because there's a lot of speed on Louisiana Tech, especially a wide receiver. Jonathan Holland, number 7, the fastest man in the WAC. He won the 60 meters and 200 meters in this year's WAC championship. With the problems Fresno State has had in the secondary, they better not blink or he'll run right by them.
All right, Trevor, thanks very much. Obviously, Louisiana Tech needs to put some points on the board. They have struggled to stop people, allowing about 42 points per game. And they have also given up yards up the middle on the ground. Dwayne Wright for a couple of yards. And let's check the offensive lineup tonight for Fresno State. And Rod Gilmore, they have a great 1-2 punch at running back as Rashawn Vircher paves the way for Dwayne Wright.
Well, you're absolutely right. Vircher has been the main man blocking for the main man in the backfield, Dwayne Wright. 3 times he's gone over 1,000 yards, and Vircher's been the man who opens up holes for him. Great combination.
Vircher has now his entire career at Fresno State blocked for a 1,000-yard rusher each and every season. 3rd down and a long 2 for Fresno. Brandstater comes underneath and it's knocked away. A nice job by Shalimar Walker to step inside and force 3 downs and out for Fresno State. So State will punt it away, and this is that Fresno State offense. Brandstater at quarterback. It's an offensive line, though, that has been shifted many times this year, Rod.
Well, keep in mind, Kyle Young, their great center, he's out. He's been suspended for not going to class. Pat Hill wouldn't put up with it. Now that inexperienced line has struggled without him.
He's expected to be an NFL draft choice. Chris Denman, the right tackle, is the only player on the offensive line that this season has started at the same spot all the way through the year. As that ball was touched by Fresno at about the 42-yard line of Louisiana Tech. And for Trevor, the offense, as you mentioned, for Louisiana Tech, they have impact players with their quarterback, Zach Champion, and the speeded receiver, Jonathan Holland and Eric Newman.
Well, this is Champion's task tonight. Get the ball outside to Holland and to Newman. Even though Holland's the fastest, Newman is the most complete receiver. They seek to exploit the problems Fresno State has had with their secondary.
So both teams force 3 downs and out. And to start this possession, Holland on the sideline. Still a shotgun set and 3 receivers. Busting it up the middle, though, Patrick Jackson into plus territory, a gain of 13. Marvin Haynes made the stop. As we take a look at the starting offensive lineup. And Trevor, this is an offensive line that's anchored by Tyler Miller at left tackle. He has now made 22 consecutive starts.
And these guys will have to take on a very tough, very physical Fresno State front. This offensive line has been inconsistent, and teams have been able to push them around.
Jackson dancing at the line and may have lost a yard. The stop made by Charles Tolbert, who gets the start tonight at defensive tackle. It is a 3-headed monster at running back for Louisiana Tech. And Zach Champion has had an interesting season as well, Rod.
Well, you know, he's really struggled. He's in his first year as a starter, been up and down, very inconsistent, a lot of interceptions, but he's had a lot of blitzing, and he hasn't handled that well.
This is his 12th career start tonight. His first ever start was in the opener this season against Nebraska. What a way to start as he screens underneath, and Jackson picks up the first down. Bahia Lane made the stop, a gain of 12.
Well, what they did here was exploit the speed of the wide receivers. They lined up 3 wide, ran the ball straight up the field. The entire secondary backed off. Champion waited until that happened and then dumped it off into all that space.
Trevor, I don't know how you saw it from over there, but from over here, that hole just opened up tremendously. Great vantage point to see how that opened up.
Again, a spread formation, and Champion will roll. Fires to the far sideline underneath to Jonathan Holland. Right in front of Trevor Maddich, who picked up a bait.
Well, Rod, you talk about the vantage point. That tackle took place about 10 feet in front of me. Jenkins came in and just stuck Holland as he caught that ball. And it's one thing to see it from the booth, but when you're right down next to it, it reminds you of how fast it is and how violent it is.
Oh, just be light on your feet over there.
Yeah, I'll jump over him.
I always remember Trevor being light on his feet when Bruce Smith was running a stunt inside.
I jumped over him, too. But he was on defense. That didn't work.
Trips to the near side left. Champion with second down and 2. Instead, they run it up the middle. And Jackson bull rushes his way inside the 15 down to about the 14-yard line. A gain of 11. And again, that offensive line, as you mentioned, Trevor, is a group this season that has gone through a lot of different changes for Louisiana Tech.
They have, and they have been up and down in their production. They were terrific against Utah State. They couldn't open a hole for a grape against Nevada. It looks like so far in this series, they're taking it to Fresno State.
Already with 51 total yards for Louisiana Tech. This their second possession in the red zone. Up the middle again. It's Jackson. First and goal inside the 5, down to about the 3. Dwayne Andrews made the stop and saved the touchdown.
Well, this is what Fresno State knew they had to stop, because if Louisiana Tech can get the running game going consistently, then Fresno State will have all kinds of trouble outside with those receivers.
Hey, Trevor, I'm in the back of the end zone watching these holes open up. It's incredible. I mean, you see the impact of the spread offense when you're down here on the sideline and just how much space is created by the way the receivers line up.
Well, one thing that does help that is the way that occasionally Louisiana Tech will run the spread option. I'm watching the defensive ends of Fresno be very careful to keep their width so that the option doesn't burn them. That's opening it up inside.
3 carries up the middle for Jackson on this drive for a total of 34 yards. This time he goes up and inside off right tackle. Marvin Haynes brought him down at the 1. Second down and goal for Tech.
Quite a vantage point down here. You know, I'm basically playing as a defensive back at the back of the end zone, reading the offense as they come to the line of scrimmage. And when the receivers come out, you see just how much room is put. Now they're in a tight formation set. Everybody's bunched up here.
Also rare to see a man color coordinate his hat and suit as effectively as Rod Gilmore has done tonight, as Jackson is swamped under back at the 4-yard line. So Dwayne Andrews with that stop, and now it's third and goal, Trevor, at the 4.
Well, they've made their money on running up the middle on this drive. This time Fresno State would have none of it. There were multiple tacklers a yard and a half deep in the backfield waiting for that handoff.
And Trevor, I would expect that they'll play zone coverage down here, try to protect the goal line and force them to throw over their heads as they spread it out here.
Well, this is the base offense for Louisiana Tech. They will go out of the shotgun with 3 wide most of the time. Champion slanting inside, intercepted, picked off in the end zone. Jenkins runs it out to about the 9-yard line. Damon Jenkins with the interception, and Louisiana Tech comes away empty.
Rod, right in front of where I was standing, they had number 81, Josh Wheeler, man for man against Damon Jenkins. Jenkins knew they were coming that way, and he read the quarterback's eyes perfectly.
This season for Louisiana Tech, they have turned it over now 32 collective times. We are scoreless midway through the first.
At Radio Shack, great gift deals just keep coming. Like this weekend only, pick up the new Super Slim full-color screen Virgin Mobile Slice for only $19.99. Or give Sirius Satellite Radio with the most sports coverage and 100% commercial-free music, the StarMate Replay Receiver, just $29.99 after mail-in rebate. But it's this weekend only, and only at your neighborhood Radio Shack.
I was going to steal some credit card numbers to buy that new Z52 Super Fusion telescope to try and see Uranus. Then I realized I could live like some playboy. I mean, look at me. I'm a hot. And when I'm not chilling with ladies, I'm racing up the sweet Hawaiian coastline. Uranus is cool and all, but I want it all now. Right, Eugene? Totally.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
2, please.
This holiday season, why not keep the change? Each time you make a purchase with your Bank of America Visa check card, we not only round up the amount to the next dollar and transfer your change from your checking to your savings account, we also match your savings for the first 3 months and continue matching 5% thereafter. Up to $250, which means there's an easy way to save right at your fingertips. This holiday season, open a checking account and keep the change, only from Bank of America.
Whatever it is, you can get it on eBay.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Heineken. It's all about the beer.
Scenic campus here in Ruston at Louisiana Tech. As we welcome you back to Joe IA Stadium. Fresno State and Louisiana Tech are scoreless. Fresno, though, set up at their own 9-yard line after the turnover, the 14th interception this season for Zach Champion. Up the middle, Anthony Harding, one of 2 freshman running backs that backed up Dwayne Wright. And Champion right now having a conversation on the Tech sideline as the turnovers this year have been the bugaboo for both teams. Patton told us, with Damon Jenkins coming up with that last interception, that what his defense had been so competent at last season was taking the ball away, and they had not done that at all this year. For Fresno State, that is their 3rd interception of the season, and Jenkins has 2 of the 3. Marcus McCauley, who on most draft boards is a first-round draft choice in the NFL, a cornerback, still without an interception this year, as Rice goes off the left side for a couple of yards. And it has been, Rod Gilmore, a very frustrating season for Pat Hill. We spent a lot of time with him yesterday, and it's just not been a Fresno State kind of season. The things he's always talked about they've done well, they have not done this season.
Well, Bob, one of the big things is it's short field, and when they do this kind of defense and they don't get turnovers and they turn the ball over offensively, they don't have the short field they're accustomed to getting.
3rd down and short, 3rd and 2, as Louisiana Tech tries to maintain field position. Play action for Brand Dater to the near side, wide open with plenty of running room down the right sideline is Chaston West, and he gets all the way out to the 45-yard line. Marquis Spurgeon saved a touchdown, but Chaston West with a gain of 28 yards, the freshman, the leading yard receiver for Fresno State this year.
Yeah, and Chaston really got a nice job, got a block from his wide receiver inside there, which opened up that play outside. You can really see how they set those things up from down here, because that was essentially a pick play.
Paul Williams, the senior go-to man for Fresno State, out with an injury. He has missed the last 4 games, and Chaston West in his absence with a couple of touchdown catches, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and he also now leads the team in terms of yards receiving as Dwayne Wright goes up the middle for about 3 or 4 yards. And a reminder, in case you're just joining us, a different way for us to approach Friday night primetime college football here on ESPN2, as I have all kinds of room to myself up here in the broadcast booth. Rod Gilmore is on the Fresno State sideline. Trevor Manich is on the Louisiana Tech sideline. We're getting their thoughts tonight from field level. And they've already picked up on some things you don't normally see up here in the booth. And you don't normally see that. Dwayne Wright thrown for a loss by DeAnthony Smith.
Well, Bob, what they're trying to do at Fresno State is go with an unbalanced line. You saw the overload to the right side where they put an extra tight end, an extra receiver, expecting to have a blocking advantage over there. But Louisiana Tech was able to shoot inside behind that and make the play.
And one thing that's happening on the Louisiana Tech side is they've moved from a 3-4 defense to a 4-3 with 4 down linemen. That means they penetrate more, and we saw that penetration on that play.
Third down in the long 11 as Louisiana Tech again tries to get off the field. Transvader wants to set up the screen, nothing there. Read beautifully by Anthony Crosby as Dwayne Wright couldn't shake free, and Fresno State will be forced punt.
Hey, Bob, I'm right over here on the Fresno State bench. That play happened right in front of me, and you're absolutely right. Crosby read it from the start, jumped right into the hip pocket of Wright. There was no way they could throw that ball over there and make a play.
And, Rod, how about Louisiana Tech potentially gaining some confidence defensively? Again, they rank 119th out of 119 Division I-A programs in terms of points allowed, but they've now forced Fresno off the field twice here in the first half.
Well, it helps their confidence tremendously. They're getting a lot of help from their corners that are manning up outside, so they have 8-9 guys in the box.
Brian Carroll from the 15 gets to the 18, and that's where Tech will start offensively when we come back. Elgin Simmons made the stop on special teams. No score in the first.
Find the perfect gift at Zales 1 Carat Sale, now through Sunday. Save $700 on these diamond earrings, now just $5.99. Find the perfect gift at Zales, the diamond store.
SAP software can grow as the company grows? That's great because we are definitely going global. Just as soon as we go national.
The true power and beauty of plasma is often hidden, unable to be captured. Only Hitachi original technologies unleash the most lifelike color and detail in plasma. Introducing the world's highest resolution 42-inch plasma HD TV, only from Hitachi.
You are killing me, Birdwood. Hey, take the secret shortcut. Never heard of the secret shortcut. Because it's a secret, Ham. Take it. Not bad, Birdwood. You ever taken this trail, Birdwood? Once. I'm leaving now.
Now would be a good time to have accident forgiveness.
Not too bad.
Or new car replacement. Your choice auto insurance, only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Plenty of sunshine through today with seasonal temperatures. We should reach our normal high.
What a marvelously glorious looking shape. What a superbly spectacular marvel of rotating titanium.
I love the shaver.
For a close, comfortable shave, get the world's only rotary with the power of titanium. The new Remington Titanium Rotary.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Remington Titanium Shavers and ESPN Game Plan, Maximum College Football. To order, call your pay-per-view provider or log on to ESPN.com. Search Game Plan.
We have a lot on our game plan tonight as we are at Louisiana Tech. No score between Fresno State and Tech. 4:22 to go in the first quarter. I'm Bob Wischusen here with Rod Gilmore and Trevor Manich as those two gentlemen are on each of the team's respective sidelines. Again, it's Jackson looking up the middle, and Champion keeps, rolls to the outside for a gain of about 4. Dwayne Andrews made the stop, and Louisiana Tech faced with second down and 6. And on the Tech sideline is Trevor Maddox. Trevor?
Second down and 6 is exactly what they want to see. They have got to keep the down and distance in a good position because that opens up that passing game. Keep in mind how Louisiana Tech will win this game. It won't be primarily by running, but by running to set up big plays in the pass.
And also controlling the clock as they have done for the most part here in the first quarter. Jonathan Holland with a nice sliding kick for a first down and a gain of 7.
Hey, Bob, you've got a good matchup out there with Holland and with McCauley, and that's where they went that time. McCauley just getting into the ball game. And he's a guy that a lot of people thought would be a first-round pick. Still might be, but he's struggled this season.
He really has struggled, Rod. And the thing is, he had a great spring, a great summer. He came in the best shape of his life, and then his production took a big dip in the middle of the season. It's starting to come back now.
First and 10, Champion with 3 wideouts out of the gun. Up the middle once again, they go to Patrick Jackson. He's tripped up after a gain of 6. And Pete Carroll has the number 3 ranked USC Trojans competing for another spot in the BCS championship game. Saturday night, they have the toughest task arguably for them all season. Charlie Weiss and number 6, Notre Dame, comes into town at the Coliseum. Saturday night college football presented by Southwest Airlines as part of Rivalry Week, presented by Remington, and it comes your way tomorrow night on ABC. Second down and a long 3. Already Jackson with 7 carries for 39 yards. He'll try again. Flags down as he picks up a couple. Again, Dwayne Andrews, the leading tackler in the WAC and the 9th leading tackler, rather in the conference. The leading tackler for Fresno State made the stop. We'll check the penalty. And it will be a first down for Louisiana Tech.
Hey, Bob, you mentioned that USC Notre Dame game. And I think that's all about Brady Quinn.
Offside, 92 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. That'll be a first down.
You know, Brady Quinn gets an opportunity to make his case for getting to New York for the Heisman presentation. Maybe as a guy who's, second or third. I think he should be there. Probably should have been there last year. And sometimes you think about the career that a guy's had, and he's deserving. And Brady Quinn's had a great career and probably should be in New York.
I agree, Rod. I just don't know that there's anything you can do tomorrow against USC to wrest that Heisman away from Troy Smith.
I'm sorry, Trevor. That was actually going to be my question to both of you. As Champion drops the throw, watch the bomb downfield, and incomplete for Wheeler. Flags come out. A no doubt about it pass interference penalty will be called against Elgin Simmons, and this will give Louisiana Tech an automatic first down in Fresno territory.
Wheeler is 6 feet 4 inches tall. He's outstanding at going up for the ball. Simmons only 5'9", and Simmons knew he was in trouble when that ball came over.
Number 30 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
When this ball is coming over now, Simmons knows there's a problem. And so he tries to get his arm up on top of the shoulder of Wheeler to boost himself to get a little extra altitude to knock it away. But he got there too early.
Hey, Trevor, the boost is okay. Placing your left arm there is all right, your left hand. The problem is you can't turn that receiver. Once you turn him, they're going to flag you for it.
Champion's mistake, the interception in the end zone. Outside of that, the solid start. And he runs the option and keeps it. Champion with a lane to the 30. Will they touch it? Inside the 5. Touchdown, Tech. Zach Champion goes the distance, 44 yards. Well, check that. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, I'm standing right down here in the area. He's stepped out of bounds. You can see it. But what a play. That's that read option we talked about. He sees the defensive end come inside, so he pulls the ball out of the belly of the running back, takes it himself. Surprises Fresno. Now he steps out of bounds right there. It's a good call.
Out of bounds
but
on the 11-yard line.
Fresno State was not ready.
On the 11-yard line.
Hey, Trevor, the other thing that you notice there is that Fresno State's playing man coverage, and that means nobody can turn around and give secondary support and make a tackle. They've got their backs to the quarterback.
Already 2 carries, 38 yards for Zach Champion. They're going to have to tell the guys in the end zone to our right to reload the cannon. As here at Louisiana Tech, they fire a cannon off for every touchdown scored. And the blast was heard They'll have to reload it pretty quickly if Patrick Jackson continues his effort. Lane stopped him before he got to the end zone, but once again, good yardage up the middle for Patrick Jackson as we get another look. Watch the right foot of Champion at the 11.
Yeah, it steps out of bounds right there. That's a good call. The thing is, it doesn't look like he really had to step out of bounds there. He was just trying to make it with much speed as possible, and he got away from it.
And they're hurrying to reload the cannon, so they're ready should Louisiana Tech get in from just inside the 4-yard line on second down and goal. At the 1, at the goal line is Jackson. A flag down as he stopped just shy by Vincent Mays and Dwayne Andrews.
Hey, Trevor, I see where you are. Did you see that power that I saw from this angle when Andrews made that hit, but Jackson kept moving him?
It was powerful, and from down here, you're almost looking up at what's happening instead of looking way down at it. And what a different perspective.
Holding, number 51 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
So now it will be second down and goal from about the 13-yard line for Louisiana Tech. And the reason, obviously, you're hearing Rod Gilmore and Trevor Maddox talk about the different perspective that they have. You can see there's Rod Gilmore. And may I be the first to say tonight, nice lid.
Well, thanks. Hey, but look, I'm in the back of the end zone. I'm actually playing safety right now. I'm reading the play as it develops.
Rod, if he throws it away, I want you to catch it.
Twinkle toes over here.
And run it back. Champion again out of the gun. Again with Heath. Down to about the 4-yard line. Dwayne Andrews has been busy, and he made another stop.
This is that same read option that got them down here. Take a look at Champion, look to his right. He sees the defensive end crash inside on the running back and pulls it out. And that's why there's nobody off to the right side when Champion gets around that corner.
And Trevor, from over here in the back of the end zone, I can see the false steps that the linebackers take with the option inside, which gives Champion a couple of steps advantage outside to pick up yards.
Well, until they stop it, Louisiana Tech ought to keep running it.
Third down and 4. 8 plays already in the red zone tonight. And a sack. Flags down all over the place as Champion had no way to get away from the blitz of Lane. Well, again, we'll have to check the penalties, though.
Now, Lane just jumped right through the gap between the offensive linemen. It was a good thing Champion didn't call that snap count just a split second earlier, or it would have been a legal hit right in his grill.
And Trevor, I'm right here in the back of the end zone, and I could hear the Fresno State players as they were trying to time it.
Defense. Tap into the goal. Replay third down.
As they ran this blitz, they were going, now, go.
Well, Champion's tired. He's standing about 6 feet from me right now, and he's breathing hard. He's worked hard. His elbows are bloody from where he's landed on the turf when he's been tackled, but his eyes are calm, Rob. That's the interesting thing that you can see from right here on the field. The look on his face, he is not rattled in any way.
Well, we get a real sense of the perspective of the players down here. Who's confident, who isn't, who's tired.
A different perspective for Trevor and Rod, and we will continue after a scoreless first quarter here at Louisiana Tech. Pat Hill wants to run the table the rest of the way. Still scoreless.
The LG Skins Game, Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
First time I had a Samuel Adams Boston Lager, it was like, wow, what is this stuff? Boston Lager, it was love at first taste. It's got a nice hoppiness to it.
We're just literally shoving hops into our beer, and I think we're considered marginally insane. Most brewers have a dash of hops.
Use a pound of hops per barrel.
You know you're drinking a beer. It's not watery, it's got something to it.
Boston Lager tastes full-bodied. Try a Sam Adams and know that that's what beer is supposed to taste like. Don't be afraid of flavor, my man. That's all checks and balances, Dave. It's going to be a good meeting.
Scott, we got traffic ahead. Can you suggest an alternate route? Scott, will this exit get us around traffic? Scott, do I bear left or right?
I don't know.
To find your way easily around traffic, remember, it's TomTom, not Scott. TomTom, find your way the easy way. And now through December 3rd, we'll give you $50 off any model at any retailer. So, give.
Oh, you're home early.
What's the point? Everyone's giving all those great gifts from Home Depot this year. Oh, where's the remote?
This year, the Home Depot is the place for great gifts, like a Ryobi 1 Plus drill and circular saw combo for $49, or a rigid 12-gallon wet dry vac. It's just $27 at the Home Depot.
I know you love me. I know you do.
At GNC this holiday season, living well means giving the gift of health. You'll save up to 50% on our widest assortment of nutritional supplements, plus holiday fitness and wellness gifts. As your leading source for health and wellness, we believe that a healthy holiday starts from within. Give good health. Live well.
Built comfortable. Built strong. Built right. Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
ESPN2's Primetime College Football is being broadcast in high definition, presented by Pioneer Plasma. As we welcome you back to Ruston, the start of the second quarter, Fresno State and Louisiana Tech scoreless, potentially not for long. 3rd down and 1 from the 3. For Louisiana Tech, play action for Champion. Lobs one, back corner of the end zone, caught the touchdown. Jonathan Holland broke through. What a beautiful pass from Zach Champion. And Louisiana Tech strikes first.
What they did was fake the run over to the right side. Jonathan Holland went inside as if he were blocking, and then he circled back to the outside and got that fade route perfectly thrown by Zach Champion.
5 seconds in to the second quarter, and already Louisiana Tech is on the board. And it's 7-0 as Oradell knocks it down. We'll step aside for just a moment. Louisiana Tech, they have not pitched many shutouts in many quarters so far, but they have the early 7-0 lead.
Oh, hey, guys, there's a better way to phone for less. It's called Vonage.
Is that the alarm?
Unlimited, local, and long distance for just $24.99. That's savings of up to 50% on your phone bill. Sign up now and get 1 month free.
I think we lost it.
Vonage. One smart decision among many, many stupid ones.
Sweet. Vonage.
Call 1-800-405-4VON.
Nothing like shopping for a little fresh produce. What do I want? College football insight or a Cobb salad?
ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot. Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Well, there's only one place to be on game day. Sadly, life can't be all about football. Yes, sometimes the missus wants a walk-in closet, the kids want a clubhouse, and you want a room big enough to escape it all. At the Home Depot, we've got the materials and know-how to help you lay a foundation, hang drywall, and turn your home into the ultimate football watching environment, so you can watch more game day.
It's Toyota's Thanksgiving weekend, where you'll find more than enough deals to go around, like 0% APR financing or $500 cash back on Tacoma, 0% or $1,500 back on Highlander, and 0% or up to $3,500 back on Tundra. You can even save up to $8,500 with 0% for 60 months on Sienna. Generous deals on your favorite Toyotas. Now that's something to be thankful for. But the deals won't last long, so see your Toyota dealer today.
Neither rain, nor hail, nor ice, nor sleet, nor snow, nor slush will keep a BMW with all-wheel drive from performing like a BMW. Legendary BMW handling. Advanced all-wheel drive traction and control. Now available on more BMWs than ever.
Soros BMW in Visalia.
As we continue a long day of college football, wrapping up Rivalry Week presented by Remington, as we have had a busy day of college football here on ESPN. And on ESPN2, Louisiana Tech takes the 7-0 lead over Fresno State. 5 seconds into the second quarter. Trevor Chambly, a linebacker, is back deep to receive the kickoff. Instead, it comes down to Jackson West from the 1. West, a couple of games ago, brought one back the distance. This time shoved out at about the 20-yard line. And a reminder, as we go through our game tonight, we have had a season of great plays, and we want you to help us pick the best one. And there have been some memorable ones, including Darrelle Revis' punt return for a touchdown for Pitt. How about the jump pass? Tim Tebow, NC State with a Hail Mary. Rutgers fans rushing the field at Piscataway. And, of course, Troy Smith, one of many plays this season that have put him in a position where he right now is the Heisman favorite. We will show you all of our top plays in their entirety throughout the game tonight on ESPN.com. You can vote for the best one. And busting through is Dwayne Wright. He might go. Dwayne Wright creating already in tonight's game a couple of top plays inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. First and goal for Fresno State. Tony Moss saved a touchdown. A 71-yard carry for Dwayne Wright.
Talk about the Red Sea parting. How about the way that left side opened up? There was no one in the secondary level, the second level, to make a tackle as Wright just burst through that huge hole.
And Wright, you like to see him have that success. He's married. He's got 2 children. He's going to have his degree in a few months, and he'll be coming out early to go to the NFL to support his family, and that will help his cause.
First and goal for Fresno State. Dwayne Wright stays in the game, gets the call, and pushes his way down to the 5-yard line. Dwayne Wright this season with a 1,000-yard year. And, Rob, that a mild upset for a young man that had a 1,000-yard season in 2003 before suffering a devastating knee injury.
Well, you know, I was at that game when he tore his patella knee tendon, his right knee, and it took him 2 years to come back from that. And it's tremendous to see him out here doing so well now.
He missed all of 2005 rehabbing the injury. Now has come back to have a great season this year. Brand Stater rolls under pressure, flips it in the end zone. What a catch! An amazing catch made by Jason Crawley, a redshirt freshman that took the floater from Brand Stater, a 5-yard touchdown, and Fresno stays on the board.
And, Bob, this was set up by the great running of Wright. You see the play action fake. No one pays attention to the redshirt freshman coming across the end zone line, the goal line there. No one paid any attention to him at all.
What a job by Brand Stater as well, avoiding that pressure.
3 plays, 80 yards, in just under a minute and a half. Clint Stitzer, perfect on the extra point. We're tied at 7.
Brand Stater has defensive end Chris Pugh coming right at him, unblocked. Now, take a look at what Brand Stater does. He goes to his right. Here comes 41 Pugh, and Brand Stater drops it in perfectly, even though he knows he's about to get hit.
So Brand Stater's touchdown pass equals things in the second quarter.
We're not even in the right and you're ready. Oh, eat it up, buddy. Is that part of the show?
The world wants what we have, and they want it cheap.
How about Soldier of Fortune?
Driven by greed.
This diamond's as big as I think. We're going to need a real buyer.
Destroyed by war.
Where's my son? Where is my son?
Found by hope.
That diamond is the only chance he has. I'm not leaving here without it.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Connelly, Djimon Hounsou. Blood Diamond. Rated R. Starts December 8th.
First, I want to thank my rival coach here for getting my favorite pizza delivered. That was a class act. Thanks, Coach. It's not delivered. What? Hey, if this is delivered for the entire game in...
Taste the pizza that has no rival. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Stress too sparkly.
You can win 2 tickets to your favorite 07 rivalry game plus home theater system. See specially marked packages.
The true power and beauty of plasma is often hidden, unable to be captured. Only Hitachi original technologies unleash the most lifelike color and detail in plasma. Introducing the world's highest resolution 42-inch plasma HD TV, only from Hitachi.
The sophomore quarterback, Tom Brandstater, who has had a tough and injury-plagued season for Fresno State with a touchdown pass from 5 yards out. The big play, though, the right 71-yard run, a career long, that triggered a 3-play, 80-yard scoring drive. It took only a minute and 26 seconds, and Fresno State is now on the board as we are tied at 7. Clint Stitzer is set to kick it away, and Patrick Jackson back deep to receive. Stitzer angles one for the corner. Jackson from the goal line sneaks his way across the 20 and breaks free down the sideline. Did he stay in bounds? Yes, he did. Jackson will go the distance. A 100-yard touchdown return for Patrick Jackson. And just like that, Louisiana Tech is back on top. How did he somehow find his way down the sideline without stepping on the chalk?
Well, I'll tell you this. You're going to see number 23, Jake Jordy for Fresno, right there. Just drill a blocker, knock him back about 6 yards. Happened right in front of me. And then there's just nobody left. Take a look at 23. Boom! And yet, tackle's broken and feet in bounds. And what a play for Louisiana Tech.
And Trevor, the other thing I could notice from down here is that the guys trying to make the tackles, they were closing their eyes. You can't tackle what you can't see.
So Danny Horwedel on to attempt the extra point to put Tech back on top by 7. And he is perfect. 2 for 2 is Horwedel. Patrick Jackson, amazing. That ends the longest kick return drought in college football for a touchdown. Louisiana Tech had gone 205 games without a kick return for a touchdown. The third longest drought in college football, and Jackson brings it to an end. Special teams touchdowns do not happen for Louisiana Tech. But like lightning, Jackson makes one happen tonight. 14-7, Tech has the lead. And some young guys are going to catch cold.
Hey, you know, Bob, one thing about tackling, you have to see what you're hitting. It's no different than a baseball player. You close your eyes swinging the bat, you're not going to make contact. Tacklers, you have to have your eyes open, and on contact, get the eyes big.
With the level of collisions down here, it is against human nature to keep your eyes open when you come down at full speed and then look to drill somebody. The human thing to do is to close your eyes.
Yeah, and you know something, Trevor? Playing this game is not a sane or human thing to do. You just do it.
Well, the third longest drought in college football ended with Patrick Jackson bringing it all the way back 100 yards. That's the first time, by the way, gentlemen, in 14 years that Fresno State has allowed a kickoff return for a touchdown. Chaston West not long ago brought one back for Fresno State and gets it all the way out to about the 45-yard line. Now, if you watch Fresno State football, you will know that they normally have Bulldog stickers on their helmets to signify great plays. As I enjoy, by the way, all of this elbow room here in the booth. I'm all by myself. But this year you will also notice that, at least tonight, Fresno State is stickerless. They have simply plain red helmets. Well, that stems from a game that took place a couple of weeks ago. They have a Sunday night scrimmage traditionally where the freshmen are allowed to participate in the scrimmage. And in that scrimmage, they will earn their own Bulldog stickers to see whether or not they should be allowed on the sideline for the next home game. As Wright weaves his way looking for some room. Fumbles the football, down by contact. And some of the players told the coaching staff that they didn't feel as if the freshmen in that game had earned their Bulldog stickers. So Pat Hill turned around to some of the veteran leaders of Fresno State and said, guys, do you feel like any of us this season after a 7-game losing streak deserve our Bulldog stickers either? And the players said no. So Pat Hill said, A, take all the stickers off all the helmets for everyone on the team, and B, I haven't earned my own Bulldog. And he said for the first time in about a decade, he coached a game without a hat on, because he didn't feel like he was worthy of wearing the logo as well. So it was a small way for this team to acknowledge the fact that they have had a season way below their own standards. And Rod and Trevor, it might sound somewhat petty to someone who doesn't realize what it might mean to these football players to get the stickers on their helmets, the acknowledgement from the coaching staff. But Pat Hill made it clear to us that he thought this was a statement made by his leaders as to the season they've had.
Well, Bob, you're right. I mean, this is a very proud program. These guys have gone to 7 straight bowl games, and it's a senior class that's been to 3 straight bowl games. And Pat Hill told me this morning that sometimes, you take those things for granted. His seniors wanted to reestablish their tradition.
First and 10, Fresno State in plus territory, and Wright picks up about 5 yards.
Well, you're right about that. And one of the seniors that stepped up to say, hey, we haven't earned our dogs either, is Joe Fernandez, number 84. They're a great receiver. And part of the problem, and Pat Hill won't say this, but part of the problem with Fresno State this year has been that some guys that had great junior years last year, now as seniors were expected to perform at a higher level, and some of those guys started performing at a lower level. They disappeared. So you lose not only production, but also leadership.
Second down and 6 for Fresno. Again, it's Wright. Hit at the line and brought down after a gain of yard. It will be third down and 5. As we take a look at what has been an amazing set of accomplishments for this senior class leading into this season, though.
And as you look
at 2006, they're way below their normal standards.
When you look at 2003, when these guys were freshmen, most of them, they came in for another senior class that wasn't performing well midway through the season. They put in freshmen who are now this year's seniors. But unfortunately, these seniors are repeating what the seniors of 03 did.
Brandstater on third and 5 finds Chaston West. And a little extra as West is brought down out of bounds by Mark Dillard. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Bob, you talk about the seniors. One of the guys that really stood out was Marcus McCauley. He's one of those guys that had a tremendous junior campaign, has struggled this year, and there are a lot of distractions that come along with being a highly thought-of prospect, namely agents and publicity. And there's a feeling that a lot of that affected his performance this season, and they got him benched for a couple of games mid-season.
Mark Dillard injured for Louisiana Tech, and Dillard, who just made that last stop and went back out on the field and then all of a sudden went down. I guess that leads you to believe it may be a cramp. From Baton Rouge, he's a defensive back, a safety, who last season started 8 games at running back for Louisiana Tech and actually led the team in rushing at 672 yards. 8 touchdowns, 5th overall in the WAC in rushing yards per game. And this season converted back over to play safety and has had a solid campaign.
Well, that's because they had 2 great running backs in Patrick Jackson and Freddie Franklin, and then 3 freshmen coming in, and they were worried about him not getting on the field. He's a great player, and they found a place for him at safety.
Louisiana Tech with a 14-7 lead as the training staff continues to tend to Dillard. We'll step aside. 10:35 to go before halftime. And Dillard being helped to the sideline with Tech up by 7. As again, he made that last play, went back out on the field, and all of a sudden went down, seemingly favoring his knee. Replaced in the secondary by Des Abrams. First and 10 for Fresno. Anthony Harding, the freshman from Turlock, California. In is the I-back. It's play action instead for Brandstater. They pick up the blitz. Wide open down the left sideline. Joe Fernandez. But Brandstater's pass was a floater, and it floated out of bounds. Fernandez unable to haul it inbounds. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, you know, Bob, I was covering Fernandez on that play. He ran that route right in front of me down here on the left sideline, and I was just hoping that Brandstater wouldn't throw the ball towards the end zone. If he had thrown it towards the end zone, that would have been a touchdown. Instead, he threw it toward the sideline, and therefore was an incomplete pass.
And when you said that you were covering Joe Fernandez, no wonder he was so wide open. Second down and 10. Thank you. Moore in motion. Wainwright. Shove back at the line. Maybe picked up a couple. Gang tackled. Push up the middle coming from DeAnthony Smith. And Marcus Macbeth.
Hey, you know, Bob, when you watch this Fresno State offense, you can tell how much they really miss Paul Williams, their great wide receiver, who's been banged up. I mean, he makes all the difference in the world in that offense because he is a deep threat. He's athletic. He can get up and catch the ball. Without him, it makes the offense more pedestrian.
Williams has been out for about a month and a half with a high ankle sprain. They thought that they might get him back for tonight's game, but he was unable to do anything in practice this past week, so was forced to stay home. To the end zone, Brandstater. A jump ball, and it's intercepted. Antonio Baker with the pick for Louisiana Tech, and Fresno State comes away empty. Justin West, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Bob, Brandstater never, ever looked for safety. Now, standing down here, you see his eyes. He never looked towards the middle of the field, simply looked to the right side, had no idea that the safety was sitting there in the middle. Antonio Baker ready to pick the ball off, just as he did.
Louisiana Tech with the lead in the ball back.
Find the perfect gift at Zales 1 Carat sale, now through Sunday. Save $400 on these Diamond Circle pendants, just $3.99 each. Find the perfect gift at Zales, the Diamond Store.
Built comfortable. Built strong. Built right. Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
Taco Bell's chicken enchilada grilled stuffed burrito. Marinated all white meat chicken, melted cheese, and savory smothered enchilada taste. Wrapped up and grilled to go. For the taste of chicken enchiladas, think outside the bun.
At GNC this holiday season, living well means giving the gift of health. You'll save up to 50% on our widest assortment of nutritional supplements, plus holiday fitness and wellness gifts. As your leading source for health and wellness, we believe that a healthy holiday starts from within. Keep good health. Live well.
Strange going on. Over 1,000 people insist they've seen something in Loch Ness. And yet when science is applied, like this expedition, what's going on? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Do you see that? There. Oh, my.
This weekend, Radio Shack has something for everyone. Like the HP Digital Camera Bundle, complete with printer. It's only $179.99. Plus, get a 256-megabyte memory card and starter kit free. Or give Sirius Satellite Radio with the most sports coverage and 100% commercial-free music. The StarMate Replay Receiver, just $29.99 after mail-in rebate. But it's this weekend only, and only at your neighborhood Radio Shack.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Toyota, moving forward, and Radio Shack. For the perfect holiday gifts, get to your neighborhood Radio Shack this weekend.
Well, both of these quarterbacks here at Louisiana have thrown an interception in the end zone. Louisiana Tech with a 14-7 lead. They have the football back after Tom Brandstater throws one away, and Daniel Porter up the middle for about 4 yards. As Trevor, we take a look back at the interception a moment ago.
Well, Justin West was the inside slot receiver on the right of the screen. Now, Antonio Baker in the middle of the field, in the back of the screen, comes over and is able to intercept because the ball is thrown too far inside. If the ball is thrown farther toward the sideline, then Baker doesn't have time to cover all the ground. But with the ball thrown inside like that, there's time for him to close and make the play.
And Trevor Baker got a great jump because he was reading the quarterback's eyes, and he was never looked off at all, so he was able to get there right away.
Second down and 6. Fresno shows blitz and rush only 4. Champion on a designed rollout. Shoots one to the sideline for a first down to Jonathan Holland.
I really like what Zach Champion has done in this season. He was the third-string quarterback all the time he was here, behind 2 guys. Only threw about 8 passes his entire career. Worked with the scout team. So this year was not only his first time starting, but his first time really running this offense. And he's had up and down games. He's really struggled at times. And fans have called for his ouster, but he has been calm, he has been confident, and he never got rattled. He's always bounced back.
A real upset to be a Division I quarterback as again he comes to the near side. Josh Wheeler wide open. Makes a man miss and picks up another first down. Josh Shirley brought him down. And here's a player that didn't begin playing organized football until he was a freshman in high school. And it was 8-man football coached by his father. 4 years later, he was a highly recruited quarterback that led his high school team to a 13-0 record and a state championship in their section. And now Zach Champion, who was a high school champion, is a Division I starting quarterback.
Hey, isn't there a moratorium on the use of champion more than once in a sentence?
Zach Champion is 8 of 10 for 59 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And Champion is now in the shotgun. And that was a champion-like handoff inside to Daniel Porter for a yard or 2. A reminder, number 12, Boise State looks to finish off the season undefeated and continue a push for a BCS berth as they take on Nevada. This is College Football Saturday on ESPN, then at 7:45. Number 20, Wake Forest meets Maryland with a spot in the ACC Championship game on the line. Rivalry Week presented by Remington on ESPN and ESPN2, and it all comes your way tomorrow.
Who would have thought Wake Forest and Maryland for the ACC Championship, huh?
Champion sets up the screen. Patrick Jackson picks up another first down. And right now it is Boise State all the way at the top of the WAC standings. And amazingly, Fresno State and Louisiana Tech both towards the bottom. But guys, outside of these 2 teams, certainly Nevada, Boise State, Hawaii, they'll all be dangerous bowl teams. Does the WAC champion get a fair shake in the national picture?
Well, I think if it's Boise, they don't until they win a big bowl game. If it's Fresno, they do because of the schedule that they play if they're able to win in that schedule.
Well, they and Louisiana Tech both play brutal out-of-conference schedules. Champion downfield incomplete. Over the head of Jonathan Holland. But as we take a look at the BCS standings coming into this weekend, and Boise State moved into the top 12 last week, but they already, even if they go undefeated, are basically incapable of ever closing enough ground to play the Ohio States, Michigans, and USCs of the world, and USC and Notre Dame. That game will most likely determine the national championship game to be played about a month and a half from now.
Well, Bob, I think that Boise State is treated fairly by the national media and the voters. You know, you have to play a challenging non-conference schedule in order to get up into that top 4 or 5 if you're not a BCS team.
Champion turns the corner and picks up about 8. It'll be second down and short. And then, Rod, you get in that kind of catch-22 where if you're Louisiana Tech and Fresno State and things go poorly for you early on in a very difficult out-of-conference schedule, then you might, in effect, ruin your season. You can see the Sacramento State, Oregon State, Wyoming games early on. Those games don't compare at all to the early season opponents that Fresno and Tech play.
Well, but Bob, it's not feast or famine. I mean, you don't have to play everybody and, just getting beaten up or play nobody. I mean, there's somewhere in between you can go, and Boise State hasn't done that yet.
Jackson, another first down for Louisiana Tech. And Trevor, I said, if you look at Boise State, I mean, are they a good argument to be made for a playoff system, or are they not necessarily the argument you want to make because they play such a weak out-of-conference schedule?
Well, no, I don't know that that's the argument for a playoff system, but I will say this. It's a good way to illuminate the question of, do you deserve it, or are you good enough? I mean, if you just look at the strength of schedule, Boise State, you couldn't say deserves to be ranked higher than teams that have played a tougher schedule. However, and have won with that schedule. However, I'll come back in just a second.
On first down, flags fly at the snap. And this looks to be a false start against Tech. Go ahead, Trevor.
However, the thing is, are they good enough? And that's the question. This might be the best team Boise State has ever fielded.
False start, number 3 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And nobody wants to play Boise State. And, you know, they went out and got stomped by Georgia here last year. And that was a difficult game for Boise State because it was thought to be their breakout game. But really, it was just a matter of the quarterback just really struggled. This team, if they make it to the Fiesta Bowl in the BCS, I think might make some real noise. And then, just like West Virginia last year, when they stomped Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, they'll get national respect.
Fresno State was certainly looking for an enormous amount of respect last season as a fumble. A fumbled exchange between Jackson and Champion on the inside handoff, and it looks as if Louisiana Tech avoids disaster, and they recover. It's a 2-yard loss. It'll be second down and 17. And it is recovered by Louisiana Tech at the Fresno State 35-yard line.
Well, from this angle, you can see all those hands coming out. This is the angle we're looking at right now. Look at the arms reaching for this ball. That's very dangerous because guys are coming in from all kinds of angles, and when your arm is extended like that, you have a good chance of getting it ripped off.
Second down and 18. A 3-yard loss. Shotgun set for Champion, who along with Brandstater has both thrown an interception in the end zone. And way behind Anthony James, the tight end, Champion went down as the rush came from Jason Shirley. It'll be third down and 18. But Trevor, now let's take a look at what Fresno State has played. Out of conference so far this season, and boy, that's a tough group of games.
Pat Hill's philosophy is to schedule these games tough, especially early, so that if they win them, they have a chance to make some noise, pop up, and then maybe creep up into a BCS situation. And his idea is, you know, if we don't make it into the BCS, then we go to the Liberty Bowl if we're conference champions. Why not take a shot at it? And if we fall short, then we play for the conference championship. I don't mind that.
Third and 18. Under pressure, Champion. They'll tuck it under and run and try and get back some of the lost yardage. Pushed hard out of bounds. About 4 or 5 yards shy of a first down as an innocent bystander on the sideline.
Yeah, that innocent bystander is getting a lot of velocity. You got to realize Champion is running as fast as he can. Then he gets a little help with a shove from the defense. And on this side of the field and the other side where Rod is, the field is sloped down, so you're pushed downhill. That way, there's very dangerous for the people on the sidelines and for the player being pushed.
Hey, Trevor, from over here, that looked like it could have been called late hit. How about from your vantage point?
It looked like it could have been. And I think they should call those things tightly because there's a safety issue.
It was definitely a late hit on the photographer. 42-yard field goal attempt for Horwedel. Has plenty of leg. No good. He hooked it to the left. So Louisiana Tech comes away empty. Fresno State holds. And with under 5 minutes to go before halftime, Tech with a touchdown lead.
Running on the right. Quarter to the taco. And you're late. Oh, eat it up, buddy. Oh. Is that part of the show?
once a year. The Chevy Red Tag event. With the best deals of the season. The price on the tag is the price you'll pay. And now the 07 Chevy Cobalt comes with something Toyota and Honda don't. The best coverage in America, including the GM 100,000-mile warranty. See some red, save some green.
See your Central Valley Chevy dealer today.
After this, the car buying experience in the Central Valley may never be the same. Test drive.
OwnACarFresno.com.
Test drive. Now playing at Own a Car Fresno. Own a Car. Driving the future.
Bruce Brett Favre looks to keep his NFL record starting streak intact against the coach who helped make him a star, who gets his Pro Bowl quarterback back. Matt Hasselbeck and the Seahawks take on Green Bay at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN's Monday Night Football.
Welcome back to Ruston, Louisiana. 4:58 to go before halftime. Louisiana Tech with a 7-point lead over Fresno State. As these are two teams that have made plenty of trips into plus territory. More so than it would be reflected with the 3 touchdowns on the scoreboard. Both quarterbacks have thrown on interception in the end zone. Harding on the screen picks up 11 and a first down. As we take one more look, Rod Gilmore, at Fresno's schedule and all of those tough out-of-conference games at the start of their run.
Well, the problem with this approach, and I love Pat Hill and his, BCS or bust slogan there, but the problem is the team that gets beat up in that schedule, and they had a lot of injuries, doesn't have the depth to go on. Now, I think Fresno State has such a good reputation, they can play 2 of those games and take a run for the BCS.
3 yards for Anthony Harding. It'll be 2nd and 7.
And the reason Louisiana Tech plays such a hard schedule is different. Fresno State plays it to try to get the national prestige. The primary reason Louisiana Tech plays it right now, as you see at Nebraska, at Texas A&M, at Clemson, and you look at all the money that they made, those 3 games alone brought in $1.7 million. And that's why Louisiana Tech does it. They're the lowest athletic budget in the conference.
And that makes no sense to me.
Dwayne Wright again into the secondary, into plus territory, and brought down at the Tech 41-yard line. As we take a look, Rod Gilmore, at the results of the games that Trevor just talked about. It turns out that the $1.75 million buys them a lot of big lopsided losses.
And a pounding. And it really works on the confidence of your players. And you don't have the depth to play those teams back to back to back. I mean, now you're looking at a Louisiana Tech team that has a defensive end that weighs 220 pounds, a defensive tackle at 245. You can't play the big boys like that.
1st and 10. Again, Dwayne Wright busts free at the 30. One man to beat as he cuts it inside and gets all the way down to the 10-yard line. Quinn Harris came from behind to save a touchdown. 31 more yards for Dwayne Wright.
Wright put his shoulder in the defensive end, D'Anthony Smith, and just ran right over the top of him. Smith, a freshman, I don't think he really fully realized the power of these upperclassmen running backs.
Yeah, hey, Trevor, that's what we talked about right in the beginning. We're down here, and you can actually feel that impact and that power that Wright has.
Yeah, not as much as Smith did, though.
12 carries for 142 yards in the first half for Dwayne Wright, who's closing out his career at Fresno State. He's heading to the NFL next year, and his heir apparent, Anthony Harding, gets it down to about the 8, 2nd down and goal. And as we take a look back, now in our Bristol studios with Reese Davis for a look at what's coming up on the halftime report. Reese?
All right, guys, coming up at halftime, we'll tell you what went wrong for Texas, how it impacts the entire Big 12 picture. Also, Larry Coker into the run at Miami. Jim Donnan will drop by to tell us what Larry Coker thinks about the future for Miami football. We'll also look ahead to the Notre Dame and USC showdown on Saturday night and what might turn that game.
Reese, thanks very much. 2nd down and goal. Play action for Brandstater. Fires one in the end zone. Touchdown. Joe Fernandez got loose. Joe Fernandez in the top 10 in Fresno State history in touchdown receptions. That one from 8 yards away. And Fresno State an extra point away from tying the game.
And this was all about space. They make sure they get Fernandez to the right side of the formation, the wide field, after having put the tight ends to the other side, the short field, and then rolling the quarterback that way. Fernandez had a lot of room to make that play work.
And Fernandez lined up on the outside. Chaston West ran a crossing route with him, but instead of staying inside, Fernandez went back out.
And Spitzer's extra point is good. 2 minutes and 6 seconds to go before halftime. And we are now tied at 14. A pair of Bulldogs fighting it out for the bone here in Ruston. And we are deadlocked.
Fresno State has never been more engaged in fulfilling its academic potential than today. Students for enology and viticulture, for example, are taking the art and science of winemaking in the lab to a whole new level in the field as a future career. A career capable of accomplishing great things, like advancing world-class agriculture. Fresno State, the university for the new California, where great futures grow for all students.
Fernandez's touchdown reception. And a kick by Spitzer that booms into the back of the end zone. No chance for Patrick Jackson as we take yet another look at the Fresno State touchdown.
Right of your screen, Joe Fernandez. Inside is number 6, Chaston West. Now West goes to the right. It looks like a crossing route. Fernandez on the left, but instead of staying inside, Fernandez doubles back out. And that fools Tony Moss, and that creates the space for the touchdown.
Yeah, and you know, Trevor, Moss has got to get help from his defensive line there, because that corner, Moss, has to take away the inside. He's taught to take it away, and you're hoping that your defensive line gets pass rush by the time that receiver makes that long move back outside.
A draw out of the shotgun to Patrick Jackson, and he almost slipped free. As is picked up about 10 yards, maybe a half yard shy of a first down.
Well, this isn't just a draw. Take a look at the quarterback. He pump fakes, and then he hands it off. That's kind of like a modified Statue of Liberty draw.
Going hurry up with 90 seconds to go in the first half, and going deep downfield is Champion incomplete. Looking for Josh Wheeler, who was a track star in high school, and he had maybe a half step.
You know, guys, when you're down here and you think about one-on-one coverage, from the booth you say, well, you know, they've got one-on-one. Down here on the sideline, you see all this green and all this room, and you go, man, that's a lot of room to try to cover when a guy is running a go pattern on you. There's a lot of green.
Second down and 10. 1:25 to go. Check that 3rd and a half yard. And Champion will pick up the first down and plenty more. And that will stop the clock with 1:18 to go. Down to 1:17 to go before halftime.
Well, they've got plenty of time to do this. With just over a minute to go, there's that little read option again. And it's the read option in its most simple form. Champion looked at defensive end Tyler Klutz. Klutz came down inside. Champion pulls it out.
Hey, and Trevor, so far, McCauley is winning the battle with Holland, the matchup. He's covered him pretty well out here.
Both teams with all 3 timeouts. Champion short hops one Holland with 1 minute 13 seconds to go.
Yeah, Ron, you know, you're right about that. McCauley really has struggled in the middle of this season, but he has come back and elevated his play again, and he's back to the big playmaking guy that he was last year, where it would be several big plays a game that McCauley would get.
Well, standing down here on the field with him, you can see why the scouts like him. He's got, you know, great NFL corner size. He's got pretty good footwork, you know, probably not as explosive out of his turns as you'd like, but very fluid nevertheless, and he's got about 4.4 speed. So the scouts obviously like what they see in him.
Up the middle goes Jackson. And Louisiana Tech may have to spend one of their timeouts. A gain of 6 with 1:07 to go before halftime. A hat on the ground as well. Jackson lost his hat. It'll be second down, or rather third down and about 3. Again, we're tied at 14 with 1:07 remaining before halftime. As we move through our game tonight, we are going to show you some of the top plays of this season and have you vote on ESPN.com. And Troy Smith brings us our first of the night.
13 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. 7-3, Ohio State. Troy Smith flushed. Tim Shaw given chase. Reverses his field. Got a block from Pittman. Going deep. Got a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. It's Trubisky.
Well, it has been a superhuman season for the quarterback of the Buckeyes, Troy Smith. And that is one of 5 different plays that we're going to be showing you throughout the night. And right now, Troy Smith's very special play is third in our voting. Darrelle Revis' 73-yard punt return is second, and the Rutgers fans having to double back to the sideline first at 31%. But if you like Troy Smith's scramble and bomb, certainly feel free to vote on ESPN.com.
Hey, do I get a vote?
I'd love to hear your vote.
Oh, I want to watch the play first. Then I'll give you my vote.
Third down and 4 for Tech. Underneath, right at the first down marker, the completion made to Anthony James. And he is about a half-yard shy. It's 4th down and short, under a minute to go in the first half. And Louisiana Tech from midfield is going to go for it on 4th down. And now whistle stop play, and Tech will call timeout. And the coaching staff may call that timeout from the sideline, thinking better, as Zach Champion lined up quickly to go for it on 4th down and a yard.
As big a play as this is in this game, it's important to not rush it. And they were lined up in the hurry-up offense. I think they wanted to make sure they were in the right play before they went off on 4th down.
Well, the other thing to keep in mind is that if they fail to pick that up and maybe rushing to do so, well, you give Tom Brandstater the ball at midfield with all his timeouts and 49 seconds to go. And Louisiana Tech, so far this season, has struggled trying to convert 4th down.
Well, that's exactly why they had to stop and pause and think twice about that, because of the risk. And now, Bob, back to your top plays. Do I get to write in a couple plays? Yeah, because, I'd write in some West Coast plays, like the Oregon-Oklahoma onside kick, or Oregon State's win over USC, which, kind of threw the BCS into a topsy-turvy. But I would vote that Smith play, the Troy Smith play, because that made him the front runner for the Heisman, and then he kicked the door shut against Michigan.
Well, if you're looking for season-long implications, certainly the Troy Smith is a good choice. Although I have seen now Darrelle Revis' punt return. That's one we're going to show you a little bit later on. That's my pick. That was an amazing return. As it turns out, Tech thinks better of going for it on 4th down. Instead, they punt it away, and Clifton Smith is brought down at the 5-yard line. Now let's take a look. This is Darrelle Revis, and this is, to me, the return of the year.
Fielding is Darrelle Revis. Trying to get a block, and he gets a huge one. Revis down the sideline. One man to beat. The punter able to slow him up, but he's still sitting in the end zone.
I know there aren't necessarily national championship implications with that specific play, but find me a better individual effort this season in any college football game played.
And find me a better example of a team assisting an individual effort.
Wayne Wright shut down, a loss of a yard, and that should take us to the end of the first half. Inside of 10 seconds to go. Now the team spending a timeout. And that will take us to the end of the first half. Fresno State and Louisiana Tech tied at 14 after 2 quarters of play. As we head back to our ESPN studios, the halftime report. Here's Reese Davis.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. Jim Donnan is here as well. Jim, you and I both think of ourselves as Natalie-attired guys, but clearly we don't have a hat like Rod Gilmore.
I tell you, Mr. End Zone, man, I promise you that.
And also well-dressed and dressed for success. Speaking of hats, the man with the hat, Les Miles, and LSU trying to spoil Arkansas's outside shot at making it to the national championship game. And, you know, LSU and Arkansas game that had been anticipated for a while, Jim, as one that perhaps would be the end of the road for Arkansas. As we take a look at these highlights here, DeMarcus Russell, he's just a mountain in the backfield, and he finds Buster Davis early.
Well, he's got such good arm strength, and he did a good job today at taking care of the ball. He's had trouble on the road.
And see DeMarcus Russell flipping it out there, early Doucette making a catch in traffic too. So LSU and Arkansas, this was a back-and-forth game. McFadden put on a show.
How about this run right here against the grain, against the best defense in the country, Reese? This guy has done it time after time against everybody, taking it all the way. He's just a tremendous back. And the best thing about him, he's got at least one more year playing for the Hogs.
182 yards, couple of touchdowns. This was a turning point in the 31-26 LSU victory. Trendon Holiday took the kickoff immediately following the McFadden run for the touchdown, went back 92 yards.
Yeah, it just takes all the air out of the crowd. You know, the fact you're back in the game and know you got to score against this great defense. It was a tremendous run back. And I give Les Miles and his staff a lot of credit. That's a big win for him going in there and winning at Little Rock.
You know, they had a couple of tough losses on the road in the early going, and one of the reasons in the preseason that people didn't pick LSU to win the SEC West was their tough road schedule. At the end of the day, you sort it all out. They won half of them. They won on the road against Tennessee, and they won in Arkansas.
Yeah, they did. You know, had a bad first half against Auburn and a really bad game against Florida, 5 turnovers.
All right, so now you have Arkansas and Florida set to play for the SEC championship. Despite the loss, Hogs still in the SEC championship game. The Hogs not in the national championship picture anymore after the loss to LSU. Texas, meanwhile, had its way with Texas A&M over the last few years. The Aggies trying to atone for that. Have an update on Colt McCoy's condition when we come back.
The LG Skins Game, Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
Shearing, enemy of engines. Enemy of shearing, Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic with adaptive molecules that continually separate and reform to help conquer the forces that can tear oil molecules apart. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Notre Dame versus USC, this Saturday at 8. College football lives here.
There are no fans in the stands. No one watching. Go ahead. Hit the showers. You did good. Good is respectable. Good is admirable. Good is good. There's nothing wrong with good. But it's not great. Be great. Play up. The Western Athletic Conference.
First-rate dependability plus professional-grade capability equals 2007 Sierra Classic. The engineers at GMC always make real life part of the equation. Limited supply plus special deals equals great time to buy. Now get an 07 Sierra Classic 1500 Crew SL starting at just $23,225 after all offers. Plus get the GM 100,000-mile warranty on nearly every 2007 GMC model. See your local GMC dealer.
Isn't it time you got a no-hassle deal on a new car? That's promo pricing at Lithia Suzuki of Fresno.
Get a brand new 2006 Suzuki Forenzo for a net cost to you of only $11,999. Or drive home in the all-new 2007 Suzuki SX4 for a Lithia sale price of only $15,999. Plus, check out our great section of the all-new 07 Suzuki XL7. And every Suzuki is backed by America's #1 warranty with 100,000-mile, no-deductible, fully transferable protection.
Promo pricing, the easy way to buy a car at Lithia Suzuki of Fresno.
Texas A&M and Texas, Mac Brown have beaten the Aggies 6 straight times, fighting Texas Aggies. Stephen McGee going in.
I guarantee he can run the option on anybody. That's the difference in the game today. The fact that Texas couldn't accommodate the fact that they could run the quarterback.
12-7 game. It's over 90 seconds to go, and now ticking under that. And Colt McCoy threw his 3rd interception of the day. He just didn't look like himself.
Yeah, he just, after that bad injury against Kansas State, he just comes out today, no velocity on the ball. And here's a hit at the end of the game. But, you know, that's the one before that was a kind of a tough shot. But right there, I thought that was all within the frame of work of the game. But, you know, you hate to see a kid go down like that.
Well, the update on Colt McCoy as a
on the Louisiana Tech sideline. And Trevor, some of the things you talked about to start tonight's game, we have seen that reflected so far.
Yeah, we have, Bob, especially with Jonathan Holland and Marcus McCauley in their battle. Now, Holland's caught 4 passes for 23 yards and a touchdown. But here on the sideline, you're looking just a few feet away at him and see the little details that McCauley's using against Holland. And it's just so interesting to see from this vantage point.
Just about set for the kickoff, and it's a high, short kick, intentionally short. And a fair catch is called for. Good field position for Fresno State. And on the Fresno sideline is Rod Gilmore.
Hey, Bob, do you miss me up there?
Very much.
Well, listen, I've been down here on the Fresno State sideline, behind the offense, behind the defense, and what I saw in the first half, some huge holes with that read option, and Pat Hill told me at halftime, he said, you know, they got us with that one. We've got to find a way to constrict that a little bit. He thinks he's got some answers, but great vantage point down here.
And Rod Zach Champion, the Louisiana Tech quarterback, was their leading rusher in the first half at nearly 80 yards rushing. Now it's Brandstater, who had a couple of touchdown passes in the first half, along with an interception. Starts the second half and right back to work is Dwayne Wright for a gain of 5, brought down by Marquis Spurgeon. What a first half it was for Dwayne Wright.
He was pretty much the guy we thought he would be, especially from down here, seeing the impact of his power, his ability to break tackles, lower his shoulder, picked up a lot of yardage in the first half, and starts that way here in the second half.
Dwayne Wright already up to 145 yards, a 10.4 yards per carry average. Now his career high, 177 yards. That came against Louisiana Tech. Reversing his field, chasing Crawley. And he picks up a first down and a gain of about 10 yards. Went left on a play designed to go right.
Yeah, you know, Bob, that is that Florida fly sweep that Steve Spurrier developed. And you just have your wide receiver start off early from the line of scrimmage, come down, pick up that ball on a sweep. He's got a head start. You get a chance to pick up some good yardage that way.
Crawley, one of 4 freshman receivers that Pat Hill has dubbed the Fab Four. A gain of 9. But Chaston West, Jason Crawley, Marlon Moore, and Seyu Giratutu, that group they feel very confident about going into next year. Brandstater finds a Giratutu, his first catch, and yet another freshman picking up 17 yards for Fresno against Spurgeon on the stop.
And Brandstater did a nice job of waiting for his other receiver, Chaston West, to clear out that side and move the linebacker so that he could throw the ball to the freshman.
And it's interesting what Fresno State has done coming out of the locker room at halftime. Instead of continuing to pound the ball, they anticipated that Louisiana Tech would expect that. They're coming out firing.
First and 10, Fresno already into Tech territory. 90 seconds gone by in the third quarter. Up the middle, plenty of running room right at the 20. Looking for the end zone. Fumbles the football at the 1. It's loose in the end zone. A scramble for it. Antonio Baker knocked it free, and now we wait. Is it a touchdown or a touchback? It's blue football. Louisiana Tech will have the ball at their own 20-yard line.
Antonio Baker never quit on that play. He chased down Wright and grabbed him by the back of the jersey had slowed him down just enough right before he got into the end zone that ball was able to get knocked free. Antonio Baker, the freshman, not quitting on that play is why that was not a touchdown for Fresno.
Fresno State tonight has turned the ball over twice, and both turnovers have come in the Louisiana Tech end zone. Well, Tech continues to, as best they can, earn a living recovering fumbles. A 37-yard gain on that play for Dwayne Wright already now establishes for him a career high. He's up to 182 yards rushing, but fumbling the football at the 1.
And, hey, Bob, I'm down here at the Fresno State bench, and as that ball came out, a bunch of players came running over to our cart to see the monitor to see if it was a fumble or not. Gathering around to watch for the instantaneous analysis by the players and coaches as to whether they think it's a fumble.
Well, it is an interesting scene right now with the coach's challenge underway. There's a bunch of Fresno guys watching this replay that we're showing.
Well, yeah, exactly. They came running over there towards the end of the play once it was clear there was a fumble. They're watching it now.
Well, that's an issue because only 17% of coaches' challenges have been overturned in favor of the coach. Part of the reason is that they don't really know what happened. Now, that ball is definitely out.
Yeah, no question.
Stripped before it gets there. But the thing is, coaches don't really know. They listen to the player, but the player, he wants to send it his way. And so that's why they run over to any monitor they can find.
Yeah, well, it's amazing down here. You got everybody crowding around watching this, seeing it firsthand. They don't have to wait to see the tape tomorrow. They got it right now down here. Even Pat Hill's right over here in the middle of things looking at it.
Rod, they're doing it over on the Louisiana Tech side, too. They're staying on their bench, but they're peering over the back of the bench to see what happened.
Yeah, Trevor, I had every coach who's on the field down here watching the cart, looking at the monitor, and every player who wasn't on the field was over here looking at that play as well.
Well, did you tell them what it was?
Yeah, they didn't like that answer.
And Louisiana Tech recovered it in the end zone. The touchdown.
Well, that was definitely the right call. And there another coach's challenge that's not overturned.
Well, the implications of that play, either a score, having the ball at the 3, or turning it over in the end zone, why not take another look? If you're Fresno State, certainly demand it. As they reviewed from the booth and realized, as now Zach Champion throws it up over the head of Eric Newman and out of play. And you can see, guys, as we have just said, that ball was coming loose when he was at about the 3-yard line. It wasn't even close. Clearly a fumble. And a great hustle play made by Antonio Baker to keep the play alive, and Shalimar Walker recovered in the end zone.
And Antonio Baker shouldn't even be on the field necessarily in a big play like that. Des Abrams, their upperclassman leader, is injured. Antonio Baker, as a freshman, is having to fill in, and what a huge play for the freshman.
Champion sets up the screen. Patrick Jackson had blockers out in front, lost his footing. There's a flag down in the backfield, though.
Yeah, Bob, they're going to get Jason Shirley for a late hit. I'm on the 10-yard line back where Champion was, and there was no question in my mind that was a late hit. Shirley came in, took a couple steps, and lowered the boom.
And, Rod, I'm on the 15-yard line where Champion is walking right now, and he's limping.
Roughing the passer, number 97 on the defense. 15 yards, automatic first down.
No question. What a silly decision by Jason Shirley. Not only hitting Zach Champion late, but lowering his head and using the crown of his helmet as a weapon to do it.
Hey, Bob, another thing to watch for down here. McCauley's out of the game. Simmons, 30, is in the matchup corner spot against Wheeler, and he doesn't look very confident over there right now.
Instead, it's back to the ground, and Jackson, for a gain of a couple, Dwayne Andrews made the stop. And, guys, what a turn of events we've now had. A moment ago, it looked as if going over on a long touchdown run was going to be Dwayne Wright. Now, all of a sudden, take the turnover and a penalty. And Louisiana Tech is back out across their own 35-yard line in a game that's still tied.
If you're Louisiana Tech, you haven't taken advantage of your opportunities in the first half. They threw that interception in the end zone, but now all of a sudden Fresno State is not taking advantage of their opportunities, and this thing is anybody's ball game. Who wants to reach out and grab it?
Second down and a long 7. Champion to the outside. Short hops it looking for Holland. It'll be third down and 7.
Well, Patrick Jackson threw a block on defensive end Tyler Klutz that time. Klutz came in unblocked until he got to the running back Jackson. And Jackson just went down low and took Klutz's knees out from under him, and Klutz is limping right now.
Well, guys, I can't tell you, how shocked I am that they haven't taken a shot at Simmons with Wheeler on him. I mean, it's one thing to see that matchup or mismatch from upstairs. When it's down here, it's huge. He's got 6, 7, 8 inches over him, but now he's matched up on the other side.
And, Rob, what does it say to you that Fresno State has their dime group on the field and McCauley's on the sideline?
That's tough.
Champion under pressure, and he will be brought down.
And Lewis Leonard got in there right away.
Champion did well to hang on to the football. It looked as if he was about to release it just before Leonard arrived. And so now Louisiana Tech will be forced to punt it away. Clifton Smith averaging 7.3 yards per punt. Return and just barely getting it away is Cagle. And it takes a Fresno State roll out to about the 45-yard line. 11:28 to go in the third quarter. We remain tied at 14.
Pro running back LaDainian Tomlinson is known for his fast feet. But can he take on Robbie Gardner in new ESPN Fast Action Football? Let's go. The faster you run, the faster the action. Play against the computer or challenge a friend.
You're in trouble, dude.
Choose the winning play.
So, LaDainian, what happened?
I don't know, man. The kid's just fast.
Get into the action with new ESPN Fast Action Football.
Get a Volkswagen and receive a custom First Deck guitar. Plug into the stereo and make your P-Dub rock.
This amplifier has airbags. I'm all right.
Right now, get a 2007 Jetta starting at just $16,490.
At GNC this holiday season, living well means keeping the gift of health. You'll save up to 50% in our widest assortment of nutritional supplements, plus holiday fitness and wellness gifts. As your leading source for health and wellness, we believe that a healthy holiday starts from within. Give good health. Live well.
3 days' work is a month off your sentence.
You left county for this?
These juvenile delinquents are doing their time, but he's
Anybody here?
delivering their punishment.
What is going on?
Starring Kane, See No Evil, packed with special features, on November 28th.
At E-Trade, we're continuously reinventing the way our customers invest. After all, it's in our DNA. Not just online trading, now E-Trade gives you the power to easily manage cash, research, allocate, and invest to make every dollar as productive as possible. Online, in person, or by phone. Be leader of the pack. Visit E-Trade today.
It's not easy being away from your family at Thanksgiving, but last night, the Friday Night Football crew was treated to a wonderful dinner by the folks at Russell's Beef Soul Food here in Ruston. It's a different kind of Thanksgiving than many have traditionally had, but they created a wonderful atmosphere. A lot of friends were made. If you're ever in Ruston, you have to go to Russell's Beef Soul Food. And right now, we have our gentleman down on the sideline. I am by myself in the broadcast booth. I'm Bob Wischusen. Rod Gilmore and Trevor manage both here as Bram Stater rolls out, finds his tight end, Bear Pasco, and he has yardage. Hurdles a man at the 40 down to the 37-yard line of Louisiana Tech. But Trevor and Rod are on the sidelines. And, gentlemen, it's been a different kind of perspective for both of you all night long.
Yeah, how about that? I just saw a receiver leap a defensive back not 5 yards away from me. You can't get any closer than that.
Yeah, Rod, did you want to go out there and lay a blow on him?
I could have.
Flashbacks to Stanford days.
I was right there.
Well, Trevor, Rod clearly has set the bar very high with the chapeau tonight. I think at some point we're going to have to add some headwear just to keep up. Gain of 19 for Bear Pasco. And on first down, back to the ground is Dwayne Wright, looking to atone for the fumble he had inside the 5-yard line. Shalimar Walker made the stop, but Wright edges closer to 200 yards on the night.
How about that play? That was that zone with the cutback, and they influenced Louisiana Tech to the right side, cut it back to the left, and that was another play I could have made. Right in front of me, coming right to the sideline. And, he runs with such authority. Can't tackle him with your arms.
195 yards so far tonight for Dwayne Wright. And still 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go. In the third quarter, Brant Stater, play action. Looking for the end zone for Fernandez. Just off his fingertips, incomplete. Tony Moss in coverage, but Joe Fernandez had a step.
And you know something, Bob? That was as good a play as you'll see from Brant Stater. He was looking to his right first with Verger, came off of that when he saw that screen wasn't there, and then went to his secondary receiver down the middle of the field.
And they made Tony Moss run. That time Fernandez lined up on the left side, motioned all the way to the right, and then crossed the field again back to the left. And number 1, Tony Moss, is playing on shin splints. That when you watch him walk the halls to and from class, he waddles. He's in a lot of pain. And right now, Fresno State, with their motion and their routes, are forcing him to run long distances on the field.
Anthony Harding now in the game at tailback. Harding in motion. Got that Lonnie Miller now on the carry. And he moves the pile down to about the 16-yard line, 2 or 3 yards shy of a first down. It will be third down and short.
You know, Bob, this is the best play we've seen out of Brant Stater in quite a while this season. And part of it goes back to that Oregon game. He took a couple of vicious but legal hits in that Oregon game from J.D. Nelson, the Oregon free safety. And Brant Stater admitted himself, he said, I wasn't the same quarterback after that. You know, he got knocked around, was a little tentative, and his accuracy went off. So he's finally kind of rebounded from that.
He was criticized, was he not, Rod, by the fans back in Fresno for poor play. And didn't reveal that injury until just this past week. First down for Dwayne Wright, and he goes over 200 yards rushing. But, Rod, here is that play you're talking about. The blitz in the Oregon game, and that was all the way back at the start of the season. He spent a good 5 or 6 weeks nursing those ribs.
Yeah, those ribs were banged up, and then he took another shot at the end of that ball game. And the very next week against Washington, he wasn't the same quarterback, and in and out of the lineup after that, and he just finally started getting his confidence back.
You've got to realize that Brant Stater is 6 feet 5 inches tall. There's a lot of target in that rib area.
First and goal for Fresno at the 10. Wright cuts it back to about the 8. When Harris came up and made the stop.
Another thing about Brant Stater is that he interns at a local radio station and he transcribes all the press conferences. So he hears the negative questions from reporters about him, saying that, why don't you bench Brant Stater? What's wrong with Brant Stater? He gets to transcribe all of those. And he's really had to learn how to be mentally tough with all that.
Well, and Trevor, the other thing he does that he shouldn't do is he goes to his MySpace and he gets all the stuff that people are sending him that are negative, too.
Oh, that's a mistake.
Second and goal, Brant Stater comes underneath to West. Breaks a tackle, stretches for the end zone, and he's got it. Touchdown for Fresno State. An 8-yard strike. Chaston West with great extra effort. Broke free from Spurgeon, and Fresno State takes the lead back.
And Chaston West really ran a nice route. Goes outside, comes back in. Perfect timing from Brant Stater. And then it was all West breaking that tackle, would-be tackle. It sounded pretty hard down here.
Clint Stitzer on to attempt the extra point to stretch the lead to 7. And it's good. 8:41 to go in the third. Now, again, big news was made in the coaching ranks. Larry Coker was fired. Our Friday night debate, that's the topic. Rod and Trevor debate when we return.
Time out. Media.
Saturday, game day is live at the LA Coliseum for USC Notre Dame. Can the Trojans write a happy ending to a glorious season?
What do you do if you're a voter? There's a lot of what-ifs.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, 10 a.m. Saturday on ESPN.
The true power and beauty of plasma. is often hidden, unable to be captured. Only Hitachi original technologies unleash the most lifelike color and detail in plasma. Introducing the world's highest resolution 42-inch plasma HD TV, only from Hitachi.
Whatever it is, you can get it on eBay.
Get a Volkswagen and receive a custom First Act guitar. Plug into the stereo and rock just like Slash. Hit Slash.
Right now, get a 2007 Rabbit starting at just $14,990.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime. Brought to you by Volkswagen. Plug in your custom First Act guitar and make your V-dub rock. And ESPN Game Plan. Maximum college football. To order, call your pay-per-view provider or log on to ESPN.com. Search Gateland.
Louisiana Tech trails, and Trevor Matich now. Tech has some injuries to deal with on their sideline.
Well, Patrick Jackson, their starting running back, has been working on a bad knee all season. Now his shoulder, which has been bothering him for the last couple weeks, has got him out of the game. You see the left shoulder, the neoprene sleeve. The trainers were working on it, and his return right now is not certain.
And that means that Eric Newman has dropped back deep to receive the kick. And it's a line drive that will hop down to Newman. He brings it back from the 8. Jackson brought one back for a score earlier, and Newman gets out to the 32-yard line. And, of course, Larry Coker being let go officially this morning by the University of Miami after a win to close out the regular season on ESPN over Boston College last night on Thursday Night Football. And there was some debate about the timing of that decision by Miami. That's the topic of our Friday night debate. You can simply log on to ESPN.com and weigh in. But Trevor and Rod, you both have thoughts.
Well, I think that if they knew they were going to fire him earlier in the season, they should have, for recruiting and for the ability of the team to move on and not speculate.
We'll get Rod's thoughts after this play as well. First down and 10. Champion comes underneath. Wide open Anthony James, the tight end, has a first down and a gain of 13. And Rod, you agree? Disagree?
I couldn't disagree with Trevor more. I think that you have to go through the season. I think Miami handled it the right way, letting the regular season be finished. There's plenty of time. We've got the recruiting contact period coming up, starting on the 26th and going until the 15th. They're in good shape with that.
So Rod is on the side of the timing not being errant, and obviously Trevor feels as if you should have made the decision earlier on this season official, as William Griffin goes off the right side. And Trevor, you want to clarify your position?
You look at what North Carolina did when they fired John Bunting early so that they could get the search started, and they hired Butch Davis during the season. Florida, when they fired Ron Zook during the season, get the search started early, hired Urban Meyer. It's not a question of turmoil or no turmoil. There's turmoil and speculation anyway. The question is, do you have that turmoil ended by knowing what's going to happen, or do you let it roll?
And the question you can weigh in on our Friday night debate, if you go to ESPN.com, the timing of the Larry Coker decision. Should UM have waited until they did, or should they have done it earlier on this season and gotten the controversy and question marks out of the way? Wheeler, the intended receiver, knocked away by McCauley. And Rod, you'd like to counter Trevor's point?
Of course. Come on, what do you think? I mean, let's not be naive here. In the North Carolina situation, that search started before Bunting was fired. In the Coker situation, they have been compiling names for a while. So when you fire to start the search has nothing to do with it. Letting the team finish their regular season and then being prepared to go into the offseason is really all you need to do. And universities shouldn't get into the habit of firing coaches mid-season.
3rd and 11. Champion going downtown for Wheeler. Incomplete. As we take a look at the numbers that Larry Coker put up in his years at Miami, and early on, if not for maybe a flag against Ohio State, he would have had a pair of national championships. 3 top 5 finishes, including a national championship from 01 to 03, and then 2 9-3 seasons, backed up by a 6-6 season this past year, unranked. And when was the last time you saw the University of Miami finish a year unranked? And now a mistake made by Fresno. Clifton Smith moved forward to make a fair catch and muffed. And great field position for Louisiana Tech, trailing by 7, just outside the red zone.
And you know, Bob, just watching Davis as he moved towards that ball down here, you could see he wasn't moving with confidence. I sort of expected him to drop that ball after I looked up there and saw the way he was moving towards it. No way. I'm no surprise at all that it was dropped.
Well, look at his feet as well. He never gets set under the ball. His feet are not in position for him to catch that ball.
So now a chance for Louisiana Tech. 1st and 10 at the 26. 3 turnovers tonight for Fresno State. Louisiana Tech only 1, so they're +2. That's rare so far for them for this season. Champion looking to avoid the rush, and he goes down at the 31. Tyler Klutz came up with the sack. Champion a bit slow to get up as we take another look.
Well, Champion ought to be slow to get up. They've really been pounding him. Most of the hits have been legal, but there's been a couple of hits that have been flagged for 15-yard personal foul penalties, and they've really targeted Champion.
2nd sack of the night for Fresno State. They're 3rd in the WAC this season in sacks. The screen comes underneath, and what a nice play by Dwayne Andrews to track down Griffin. And that only picked up maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd down and long.
Well, they're going to have trouble getting the ball down the field. Fresno State has moved out of their man coverage, and they've gone more to a 2-deep zone down here and a 3-deep zone. So it's really going to be tough on Champion to find a hole, find a seam down the field to pick up the 14 yards.
And Marcus McCauley back on the field as Fresno State is in their base defense. Only 4 defensive backs on the field. 3rd down and 14 for Louisiana Tech. Fresno shows blitz. They rush 5. Champion under pressure. Finds some time. Fires a bullet. Has a 1st down. Inside the 15-yard line. A strike to Eric Newman. The blitz came and they couldn't get to Champion. That's a gain of 16 on 3rd and 14.
Eric Newman, not their fastest receiver, but their best receiver. He's the most skilled at executing routes and at reading defenses. And when that play broke down in the pocket, Newman knew exactly what to do to support his quarterback. Come straight back at him.
Marcus Lindsey, the starting right guard, is down on the play. The injuries this season for both of these teams approached the absurd as Jack Bicknell has spent most of the season watching, especially defensive linemen, time after time being brought off hurt.
That's right, Bob. They've had to actually change the entire defensive scheme that they were running, Louisiana Tech. They had a 3-man defensive line, but when Josh Muse, their all-star nose guard, got injured, and then Eric Harris quit the team, and then other people got injured, they had no people left that could line up as those big, powerful 3-4 defensive linemen to take on the offensive linemen. They had to go to 4 defensive linemen, change the scheme, have a penetrating system instead of a hold-up system.
And Trevor, you mentioned them, Eric Harris leaving the team. Well, part of that is the byproduct of that tough schedule, bringing guys in to play in a schedule that is too tough, and the guy gets discouraged and quits, and that hurts your depth on the defensive line.
Patrick Jackson is back in the game. The fakest champion scampers inside the 10, down to about the 7. A gain of 7 for Zach Champion, but good news for Louisiana Tech as Patrick Jackson's back in the game.
And Vincent Mays is in the game, too. And, boy, he came up with a big hit right there just in front of me as I stand in the end zone here. He came up and laid a big hit on Champion.
There's that read zone again we've been talking about, Rod, that has not really been stopped by Fresno State all game long. You just look at the defensive end. Wherever he goes, you go the other way. And they've had big play after big play from them.
2nd down and 3 at the 7. Louisiana Tech can get a first down inside the 4. And Jackson doesn't close to either. Swamped under by Leonard and Klutz after a gain of maybe a half yard. 3rd down and a long 2.
Well, I was looking at Eric Newman, the wide receiver. He was blocking linebacker Ahijah Lane, and that play came right in on the back of his knees. And I was very happy to see number 82, Eric Newman, get back up.
Hey, Trevor, I think you're going to have McCauley closer to you. And if they play man, he should have a good matchup over there with Holland.
Yep, he's right in front of me, Rod.
We'll keep an eye on that matchup. Holland and McCauley to the top of your screen. 3rd and 3. Champion. An all-out blitz coming. His flag's flying. He's got no chance.
Oh, they should have blown that whistle sooner. Champion didn't have a chance, and they should have blown the whistle before he was mashed beneath those big defensive linemen.
And if that is indeed offsides against Fresno State, guys, that's the 2nd time we've had that tonight where Champion has taken a blow on a play where the play should have been blown dead with a Fresno State defensive lineman or 2 unabated to the quarterback.
And Ron, I'm over here watching Champion walk over to the coaching staff, and right now he's not walking.
98. Penalty is half a distance to go, and will be a first down.
That's Lewis Leonard, one of the guys that landed on Champion, but he wasn't really walking over here anymore. He's sort of waddling because he's really been pounded and squished.
Well, you know, and he's going to get hit when there's an offsides like that. You're not going to blow the whistle. It's not a dead ball play. It's not like it's a false start.
You know, but when there's a free hit on the quarterback, then they should call that play.
Louisiana Tech running up to the line to try and snap it quickly. Hand off to Jackson, and he's brought down a half-yard shy. Trying to catch Fresno State before they were fully set. Almost worked as Alan Goodman saved a touchdown. It'll be 2nd down and goal from inside the 1.
Hey, Trevor, I don't know about you, but you can't get this upstairs. I'm in the end zone, and Alan Goodwin came up, and he just turned Jackson sideways with that hit.
Well, I'll tell you, it was really funny how they sprinted up to the line like that to catch Fresno State before they lined up. Fresno State in the walkthrough yesterday thought they could do the same thing to Louisiana Tech.
Sneaking in as Champion, and he is in for the touchdown. Zach Champion with the quarterback sneak from a yard out. And remember the fumble. The muff fair catch made by Clifton Smith gave the short field to Louisiana Tech. And Zach Champion completes the short trip of the touchdown run. And now Tech is an extra point away from tying the game with 2:36 to go in the 3rd.
Well, I was standing right on the goal line, looking right down that white stripe, and the surge of the guys in the blue jerseys was just amazing.
Let's just suit up next time, Trevor.
You suit up. I'll watch.
I'd pay to see that. Horwedell's extra point is good. Deadlocked at 21, just over 2.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. We've already seen a couple of the top plays that you can vote on ESPN.com, and we will play the rest in just a moment as we continue our debate.
And Ferguson on the 17th. Oh, that's trouble.
Un poquito más a la derecha.
Nothing is lost with the full HD 1080p Aquas from the leading innovator of liquid crystal television, Sharp.
Gulf Thanksgiving tradition returns to ABC. The LG Springs game, Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
It only happens once a year. The Chevy Red Tag event. With the best deals of the season. The price on the tag is the price you'll pay. And now the 07 Chevy Silverado Classic comes with something Ford and Dodge don't. The best coverage in America, including the GM 100,000-mile warranty. See some red, save some green.
See your Central Valley Chevy dealer today.
After this, the car buying experience in the Central Valley may never be the same. Test drive.
OwnACarFresno.com.
Test drive. Now playing at Own a Car Fresno. Own a Car. Driving the future.
So Zach Champion adds a touchdown run to his touchdown pass tonight. Louisiana Tech also has a touchdown on special teams. And with 2:36 to go in the third quarter, we have a good one here in the WAC. Fresno State and Louisiana Tech tied at 21 as Fresno's about to get the football back. Brad Ostriker set to kick off. Justin West is deep to receive. The last two seasons, Fresno State has lost to Louisiana Tech, and both of those losses were losses that knocked Fresno out of the top 25. As West brings it out to about the 35-yard line. And again, we are reviewing our vote for top play in college football this past season. And for Florida fans, you are not soon going to forget this one. Second and goal, 27 seconds remaining in the second quarter against LSU. And Tim Tebow with the alley-oop. He had nowhere to go and instead floats one after the double clutch into the back of the end zone.
I'm not sure if he should get a potential top play or if he should have to run laps for that one.
Well, that was inventive. Right. Adding to a night where he already has gone over 2 bills and picks up about 7 more. And again, updating where the fans have voted so far tonight on ESPN.com. And Tebow getting no respect. 12% in 4th place. The two we have yet to look at, which we will show you, NC State's Hail Mary with 5 seconds left to beat Boston College, and the Rutgers fans.
How can you not like Rutgers in the Cinderella story, huh?
You always have a soft spot, don't you, Rod? You're such a sentimental guy. Up the middle goes Wright. He breaks free. What a night it's been for Dwayne Wright. Inside the 25-yard line before he's run out.
Hey, you know, Trevor, we talked about that defensive line for Louisiana Tech, how small they are inside. Well, they're getting pounded inside right now.
They are getting pounded, but I'll tell you who almost got pounded was the Fresno State cheerleaders, where Wright got pushed out of bounds and he rolled. You could see him down here put the brakes on the roll as he was on the ground, so he didn't take out those cheerleaders like bowling pins.
20 carries tonight for 244 yards for Dwayne Wright. And he gets a break. Anthony Harding is now the lone setback. 1st and 10 at the 25. Wright only 8 yards shy of the Fresno State school record. And we're at the end of the third quarter at this point. Harding picks up 2. And, of course, a major storyline as far as Fresno State is concerned. Dwayne Wright recently announcing that he will forego his final season of eligibility at Fresno State and enter the draft. And, Trevor, we talked to Pat Hill yesterday. That was a decision that he said he agreed with.
Yeah, Pat Hill's an old NFL offensive line coach. He knows what's at stake. And when you look at Dwayne Wright's decision-making process, he's married, he's got 2 children, he's living on $700 a month. It's time for him to go make a living for his family. He's going to graduate here in about 2 months.
And next year would be his 6th year, a 6th-year senior. The screen inside to Lanye Miller. And he's close to a first down inside the 15-yard line. And the umpire took a tumble as well. He plays hurt. First down for Fresno.
Hey, Bob, yeah, I was just about to tell you how we use the first down marker, the yellow line, which is always right. Well, I'm sort of the first down marker. I'm at the 14-yard line. That was clearly a first down where my foot was. I'm so close, the official just told me to get off the field.
Rod getting admonished by the linesman. Please, Mr. Gilmore, get out of the way.
Yeah, you backed me up.
Branstetter rolls to the end zone. Knocked away. Fernandez, the intended receiver, but Walker got a hand in the lane with 13 seconds to go in the quarter.
And you'll see Branstetter try and squeeze this in there. Good coverage. He's going to try and squeeze it right in right now. Walker closes on it very nicely.
Rod, please continue to keep a safe distance from the action.
Well, that's my second admonition. I wonder if the third one they kick me out.
Maybe back up in the lead. Right back in the game is the lone setback. What might be the final play of the quarter. And Wright takes it down to the 11. So we'll head to the fourth quarter in a 21-21 tie.
Rod, I just hope none of these players take exception to anything you've said about them in games, because right now, buddy, you're in range.
That's what I need you for. You're my blocker.
At the end of 3 quarters of play, we're tied at 21, but Fresno State knocking on the door when we return.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Notre Dame versus USC this Saturday at 8.
It just gives me the feeling like she's not, listening to me.
Have you tried not saying every other word?
What?
Remember your ski trip story?
Yeah.
I was, going down the hill, and, there was a crowd,
and, come on,
and I was like, stuff either happens or it doesn't.
Holy.
Here's to men, to guys who want to spend more time having fun and less time in the men's room. And here's to Flomax. It's approved to treat male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. In 1 week, Flomax may help symptoms like frequently waking up at night to go, going often, going urgently, weak stream. Ask your doctor if symptoms are from BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden decrease in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. To learn more, call 866-4FLOMAX. Ask your doctor. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
College football season has begun. So remember, it's not whether your team wins or loses. It's watching them in high definition that matters. For the first time, every college football telecast will be available in high definition on ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD, giving you the chance to experience it as never before. Once you have your HD TV, contact your cable or satellite provider and upgrade to ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD. ESPN HD's and ESPN2 HD's coverage of college football is presented by Pioneer Pure Vision Plasma.
With unmatched technology and innovation years ahead of its time, we've pushed the boundaries of high definition and tested the limits of reality. The new Pure Vision Plasma display, only from Pioneer.
So thousands of other mid-sized companies run SAP software. Does that mean I'm not the maverick nonconformist I thought I was?
This is Rivalry Week, presented by Remington. ESPN Primetime College Football. The Louisiana Tech Bulldogs and the Fresno State Bulldogs tied at 21. That's a tie. That's a close margin. This was not. 26,000 have voted, and 78% agree with Rod Gilmore. It was the right time for Larry Coker to be fired. So it's Trevor Manich on the short side of that argument, and many others. And he gets together with Rod. Branstetter back to throw, timing pattern, back in the end zone, incomplete. Right in front of Trevor Manich, and Branstetter was looking for a flag. Trevor, should there have been one?
Well, Branstetter was throwing the ball over here to Fernandez, who was covered by Shalimar Walker, and they got tangled up. Their legs got tangled up, and Fernandez almost fell down. But I think it was a good non-call because it was incidental contact as Fernandez ran that route.
A 28-yard field goal attempt as Fresno State now looks to take the lead. And Stitzer is good. So with 7 seconds gone by in the fourth quarter, Fresno State retakes the lead. Now again, reviewing some of our top plays. We've shown you Troy Smith. We've shown you Darrell Revis. We showed you Tim Tebow. Now we're going to show you Rutgers and all their fans joining one another a bit early.
Well, they will kick it deep. They will kick it deep, and Spillman will have a chance. That's a surprise. He's got some room. The Rutgers player is trying to turn the fans around. You don't want to get a 15-yard penalty.
And what a job by the Rutgers fans to adjust. They thought the game was over. 1 second was left. And the fans storm the field. Whoops, turn around, head back to the end zone.
You've got to realize that this generation of Rutgers fans have never had a reason to storm anything but the parking lot in the third quarter. They're not quite sure how to do that.
Learning how to win, learning how to be fans, huh?
And on our fan poll, guys, right now, that is the leading vote getter.
Well, you know, Rutgers was the story of the year in college football. Certainly the Cinderella story.
Another Coach Greg Schiano is being talked about for the Miami job.
And that actually sparks another debate that we could potentially get into as Jackson stumbles and he's down at the 4-yard line. Went down to field the ball on a hop and lost his footing on the turf. And so now with Fresno State on top by 3, Louisiana Tech starts inside their own 5-yard line.
And, you know, speaking...
And as we check our KFC Bowl buzz here on ESPN Friday Night College Football, there are lots of bowl games out there to be had, and already some teams have accepted bowl bids. Penn State's going to the Outback. Wisconsin to the Capital One. And Ohio State, well, I think they're going to accept their invitation to the BCS championship game. Champion hands off to Jackson. Pieces it across the 5, a gain of 2. But again, let's look, guys, at some of the bowl bids that have already been accepted. And what a season it was for Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin certainly has had an outstanding season. First season for head coach Brett Bielema. 1 loss, but not the non-conference schedule that allowed them to be in the running for the BCS championship game.
2nd down and 8. Champion under pressure. Somehow escapes the rush and gets out to about the 11th, 3-yard shy of a first down.
Well, Josh Shirley had Champion lined up. He had about a 15-yard run-up right in front of where I'm standing, and somehow Champion avoided that hit. And that might have been the last hit for him of the day if he doesn't avoid it.
3rd down and 3. As Champion comes back to the huddle with 18 on the play clock.
Yeah, he does seem to be limping a little bit.
He's been pretty much squished this whole game.
Dominated by Fresno State so far here in the second half. 4 of 10 on 3rd down tonight for Louisiana Tech. A bullet thrown over the middle is complete. Intended for Eric Newman. And now it turns out that Patrick Jackson falling down while trying to field the short hopped kickoff not only cost Louisiana Tech 3 downs and out, but cost them field position in a huge way as Trevor Chambly looked to be cramping up as he was trying to come to the Fresno State sideline.
Oh, he's not cramping up, Bob. He got cut as he was coming in on a blitz, and you hate to see that. I mean, he's coming in as a linebacker, and a lineman came out and just cut him right in front of me as I watched this from the back of the end zone to the left of your screen. There you see the cut block just to the left of your screen, and he was coming on a blitz and immediately went down and just was hurt. You hate to see that. That's a big old lineman going at the knees of a guy that's blitzing. And, you know, I'd like to see those linemen, you know, stand up and block that guy.
Well, Chambly, a big part of this team, he only arrived in the fall. And so he's taken time to learn the offense or the defense. But now that he has learned it, he's been an explosive element in this team.
And Chambly really in some pain as they look at the right knee. Fresno State with a 3-point lead.
This weekend, Radio Shack has something for everyone. Like the HP Digital Camera Bundle, complete with printer. It's only $179.99. Plus, get a 256-megabyte memory card and starter kit free. Or give Sirius Satellite Radio with the most sports coverage and 100% commercial-free music. The StarMate Replay Receiver, just $29.99 after mail-in rebate. But it's this weekend only, and only at your neighborhood Radio Shack.
Your personal information is no longer personal. It starts with your name, then your social security number, then your credit card number, and with very little effort, your identity can be stolen.
Life comes at you fast. That's why Nationwide offers identity theft coverage. We'll assist you in the recovery process, save you hundreds of hours, even notify you if your credit report changes. Just another way Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide is on your side.
I just put 43 cents into our savings.
How old are Canadian?
I just put away another 61 cents.
Oh, a whole 61 cents.
Save with Keep the Change.
So far, we've put away $230.
Each time you make a purchase with your Bank of America Visa card, we round up the amount to the next dollar and transfer your change from your checking to your savings account.
Save 8 cents.
I'll alert the media.
Open a checking account and keep the change. Only from Bank of America.
Trevor Chambly just carried to the sideline by a couple of his teammates. And Trevor Matic, it's always tough to watch a player get cut in a knee injury like this.
Well, it is Ryan Considine, offensive lineman, in the middle of your screen. Blocks him low.
Fernandez fields the ball in traffic, gets taken down immediately, 3 yards into Louisiana Tech territory. But Trevor Considine, right or wrong in how he approached this block?
Well, as an offensive lineman, see, I think this is right. He is right in front of Chambly. He doesn't block him from the blind side. He doesn't drive through his legs. He just goes down. In one of those accidents of football, it turns into an injury. But as an offensive lineman, I just don't think that was a malicious or even a particularly vicious cut block.
I didn't call it malicious. I just think that it's one of those things, have him stand up and block the guy. We have a lot of rules to protect defenseless quarterbacks. Nobody's thinking about protection defenseless defensive players.
2 yards for Dwayne Wright.
Rod, I think you make a good point. I think that's one of the reasons they changed the chop blocking at the line of scrimmage rules a few years ago for protection. But see, on that one, I just see Considine was right in front of Chambly, and therefore I don't think that Chambly was defenseless.
Well, you know something, Trevor? If he's right in front of you, stand up and block him. I mean, you're an offensive lineman. You're 6'5", 300 pounds. The guy's right in front of you, stand up and block him. You don't have to cut him and tear up his knee.
But if the blocker's right in front of you, fend him off, right?
Second down and 8. Franstater splits Moore wide out. Sets up the screen to Cheston West. A nice open field tackle made by Dillard after a gain of 3 or 4. And Trevor, I guess to Rod's point, I don't know if this factors in at all, but Considine immediately went down into a rolling position to cut Chambly. I mean, it wasn't as if he tried initially to stand up and block him. His first move was to just go right down at his knees. Does that change the reaction at all?
No, not at all, because he was right in front of Chambly, who had the ability to defend himself.
Third down and 5. Tech trying to hold. Franstater with time. Low for Fernandez, incomplete. 3 downs and out for Fresno, and the Tech defense does indeed hold.
Hey, and Fresno State's head coach, Pat Hill, is down here. He's pleading for a call or review. He thought that Fernandez caught that ball. He actually walked out onto the field with his arms out. Come on, official, what are you doing? Give me a break here.
Tony Moss also was right in front of Fernandez and was impeding his ability to go forward on that route.
Zimmerman to punt with Brian Carroll. awaiting at about the 10-yard line. Under 12 minutes to go. It's been a good one tonight between these two WAC rivals. Both nicknamed Bulldog. And a great play on special teams by Fresno. They will pin Louisiana Tech again inside the 5. Josh Shirley downs it at the
2. You know what I desire.
Yes, my Count. Pizza.
You had garlic bread pizza delivered.
Of course not, silly. It's not delivery.
New DiGiorno garlic bread pizza. Great toppings on garlic bread crust. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Plenty of sunshine through today with seasonal temperatures. We should reach our normal highs.
What a marvelously glorious looking shape. What a spectacular marvel of rotating titanium.
I love this shaver. For a close, comfortable shave, get the world's only rotary with the power of titanium. The new Remington Titanium Rotary.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Green flag, green flag.
First-rate dependability plus professional-grade capability equals 2007 Sierra Classic. The engineers at GMC always make real life part of the equation. Limited supply plus special deals equals great time to buy. Now get an 07 Sierra Classic 1500 Crew SL starting at just $23,225 after all offers. Plus get the GM 100,000-mile warranty on nearly every 2007 GMC model. See your local GMC dealer.
Thinking on buying a newer used vehicle? Think Lithia Ford of Fresno.
Where right now you can get an easy deal with promo pricing. Get a new 2007 Ford Ranger XL promo priced at a net cost to you of just $13,999 after a $2,000 factory rebate with $13,000 at this price. Or right now, get a new 2007 Ford Fusion SE promo priced at a net cost to you of just $18,999 after a $1,000 factory rebate with $5,000 at this price. Ford, bold moves.
Lithia Ford of Fresno. Number 1 for all the right reasons.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Remington Titanium Shavers and DiGiorno. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Well, the most famous face in the history of Louisiana Tech sports is Terry Bradshaw. Played here in the late 60s. Took the Steelers to 4 Super Bowl championships and donated all of his rings and memorabilia from his NFL days, including his Hall of Fame bust, to his alma mater. And it sits on display in the Athletic Center here at Louisiana Tech. Of course, his number retired. And I don't know, Terry Bradshaw, Carl Malone. Those are really the two names that have made the sports program here at Louisiana Tech famous. And now Tech in a struggle with Fresno State. It's a 3-point Fresno lead. Second down and 4 for Tech inside their own 10-yard line. Louisiana Tech with 12 rushing yards in the second half. They keep it on the ground here, and they'll pick up a 13th rushing yard. Tyler Klutz and Jason Shirley combine on the stop of Patrick Jackson. And now, guys, a big play for Louisiana Tech. Third down and 3 from their own 11.
Well, they've had some opportunities with man-to-man coverage, but they haven't really exploited them here in the second half. McCauley, who's out on the left corner again, he gets matched up with Holland, and they have not been able to get Holland free against McCauley.
As Rod Gilmore continues to prowl the end zone. Third down and 3. Champion comes underneath to his tight end, Anthony James, and he has a first down after the 20, a gain of 9.
Anthony James has been quite a target, 6'6", 255. He's been the most productive pass-catching tight end since Josh Bradley in the mid-90s here. And what a safety valve today he's been for Champion.
Yeah, but he would have been better off being about 4 feet tall for that pass. He had to just pick that one up off the ground like he was a shortstop.
Yeah, but he'll thank Champion for that later, because if that ball was thrown up, he would have taken a shot to the ribs.
Jack McNell told us that Anthony James is really the unquestioned leader of this Louisiana Tech team. Last week, they're down 28-0, and he's out there pumping up the defense like it's 7-7. And the defense and this team at times this year has needed that pumping up, as once again, Zach Champion goes down. An 8-yard loss as Josh Shirley gets the sack this time.
Well, Bob, you see the answer by Fresno State to that read option. Bring the blitz off that side. And Josh Shirley came off of the side. They run the option, and his assignment was to get into the backfield and get to Champion. He didn't even pay any attention to that fake.
Rod, you mentioned also taking advantage of man coverage. They tried it on that time. Josh Wheeler was manned up against Damon Jenkins on the left. That's where Champion was looking, but the blitz took him out of it.
2nd and 17. And again, motion in the line. And that time, at least it wasn't Zach Champion that took the shot. One of his linemen, the center Jacob Peeler, got in the way. Was it offsides again on Fresno?
Jason Shirley got a real good shot at him. I guess if you're going to take a shot, make it pay.
Offside, defense, number 97, 5-yard penalty.
That's the third time that Fresno State has been guilty of jumping offsides tonight, defensively.
Well, and Shirley was hit earlier with the roughing the passer call, so he's picked up 2 of those penalties himself.
You know, he's got to be mad at himself, but also he was duped by Champion. That was a hard count at the line, and Shirley fell for it.
Although, Trevor, you always have to wonder how it is that a nose tackle could ever go offsides. I mean, you are right over the football, and you know no play can begin until the football moves.
Yeah, but you're listening. That's the problem. You try to cheat.
Close your ears. Watch the ball. 2nd down and 11. Jackson picked up a yard. 3rd and 10.
Well, I can tell you this. The pace and the speed, the sense of urgency has picked up for the Fresno State defense in the second half. And they've been focused on the sideline ever since Wright started running the ball hard, but that defense is now flying around.
Well, that's how Fresno State plays. They're getting back to it now after getting away from it in midseason. They hit people. They knock them down. They intimidate.
3rd down and 10. Louisiana Tech trying to keep this drive alive. At the very least, get field position back, as they have started off their last 2 drives inside their own 5-yard line. Here comes the blitz again. Downtown, over the head of Jonathan Holland went Zach Champion. Again, he ends up flat on his back. But that time, just a little more air under the football, and Holland had a step. He might have been able to run under it.
Well, Holland was wide open, and the reason for that was the coverage was limited because of the blitz. But this is what Fresno has decided to do. They've decided to force Champion to make quick decisions and see if he can make the plays.
Cagle gets the punt away. Fernandez with a return. Turns the corner. Great return by Joe Fernandez to the 30-yard line of Louisiana Tech. Cagle made the stop after a gain of 29. And again, we have gone through all of our top plays so far tonight. Here's the last, the NC State Hail Mary. 8 seconds left from the shotgun. Pumped it once, now steps up into the pocket, going for the distance. In the end zone, the ball is caught by Dunbar. With 8.5 seconds short on the clock. As a Boston College alum, I would like to enter my vote that is the worst play of the year in college football. As Anthony Wright hit at the line and gets a yard. Thrown down by Mark Dillard. The people have spoken. The votes are in. And the Florida fans respond. Well, we're in SEC country to a certain extent. Of course, Trevor Maddich wanted Tim Tebow benched for his jump pass, and instead the fans say that's the top play of the year. And I agree with them, by the way, that the NC State Hail Mary was the worst play of the year. Trevor, once again, the fans don't seem to agree with you, even a little bit.
I know. I got to reevaluate my existence here.
Handoff to the fullback, Anthony Harding. And he's inside the 20 down to about, or the 25 down to about the 22. 3 yards shy of the first down.
Well, Bob, my pick was the Troy Smith play. Because you saw there an athlete who has matured into a quarterback. Troy Smith has command of himself, of the offense, and knows everything the defense is trying to do. And as he scrambled and made that play, he kept his eyes downfield, he stayed calm, he felt the rush, and he made the pass. That's what a quarterback does.
Let's see what Tom Brandstater does here. Third down and a long three. Trying to potentially ice the game for Fresno State. A touchdown on this drive might do it. Goes back to his workhorse. Breaking free is Miller. And he's inside the 20, down to the 19. So the freshman from Fontana, California, Lanye Miller, picks up the first down. And again, let's take a look back at the Troy Smith play that Trevor was talking about once again.
Well, look how he keeps his eyes downfield. And he throws a strike into double coverage, the only place that ball could go to be caught. And as he threw that ball, he got bumped and didn't even acknowledge the hit.
Anthony Hardaway followed his big game against Texas.
Harding to the 15 for a gain of 3. And guys, we've talked about this briefly before, but again, talk about the game tomorrow night on ABC, USC against Notre Dame. Is there any number that Brady Quinn can put up tomorrow night to potentially pull the upset and take the Heisman away from Troy Smith? But is there anything he can do?
No. There's nothing he can do. What he can do is cement the fact that he should get an invitation to New York.
Well, Brady Quinn's going to get an invitation to New York.
He's probably last year. He deserved one last year. Right. They didn't give him one last year.
He's probably right now number 2 in the Heisman voting. It just seems that Troy Smith has opened up such wide margin. Speaking of which, a very wide margin of separation for Drew Lubinski. The tight end wide open in the end zone, and Brandstater missed him.
Well, Rod, you talked about Brady Quinn. I think if you make a case for him, and I think you can make a good case for Brady Quinn making the Heisman, he has been the focal point of Notre Dame's offense and the defenses opposing that offense. The running game is very pedestrian.
Are you making a case for him to win the Heisman or to get to New York?
No, I think that Troy Smith should win the Heisman, but I think that Brady Quinn is a strong competitor.
To win it or to get to New York?
To New York.
Okay. He should be in New York, no question.
3rd and 7. Brandstater wants to set the screen up. Louisiana Tech snuffed it out, and Brandstater goes down. With a little over 5 minutes to play, Fresno State will have to attempt a field goal as Chris Pugh brought down Brandstater for a sack and a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandstater scrambled right towards where I was standing on the sideline, and when he saw his receivers covered and the pressure coming, he put both arms over the football and went down to preserve this opportunity for a try.
Flint Stitzer on to attempt a 36-yard field goal. And he's got it. That stretches the lead to 6. So still in the game, Louisiana Tech. They bend, but they do not break. Sacrifice only 3. And with 4:34 to go, it's a 6-point Fresno State lead.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. You know, I followed your character since the first episode. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Thank you.
And listen, your storyline, it makes for incredible TV drama. Thing is, your drug use is very adult content. Too adult for the kids. So I'm gonna have to block you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, have a good one.
You're a nice lady.
The true power and beauty of plasma is often hidden, unable to be captured. Only Hitachi original technologies unleash the most lifelike color and detail in plasma. Introducing the world's highest resolution 42-inch plasma HD TV, only from Hitachi.
Find the perfect gift at Zales 1 Carat sale, now through Sunday. Save $300 on this diamond heart pendant, now just $199. Find the perfect gift at Zales, the diamond store.
you can get it on eBay. At GNC this holiday season, living well means giving the gift of health. You'll save up to 50% on our widest assortment of nutritional supplements, plus holiday fitness and wellness gifts. As your leading source for health and wellness, we believe that a healthy holiday starts from within. Give good health. Live well.
Fresno State by 6, 4:34 remaining here at Louisiana Tech as we welcome you back to Ruston. Louisiana Tech is about to get the football back. A reminder, Pete Carroll and the third-ranked USC Trojans are looking for a spot in the BCS title game. And by all accounts, a win over Notre Dame would give the Trojans their shot at Ohio State. It all comes down to that game, Saturday Night College Football, presented by Southwest Airlines, part of Rivalry Week, presented by Remington, tomorrow night on ABC. Patrick Jackson, he already has a kickoff return for a touchdown tonight. This time, barely gets out across the 24-yard line. But earlier on tonight, Patrick Jackson brings us our image of the game, brought to you by Sharp. A 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, breaking 3 or 4 tackles and somehow staying in bounds and going the distance. And right now, that special teams touchdown has kept Louisiana Tech within a one-possession game with 4:24 remaining. And on the change of possession rules, the new clock rules in college football this season, because it was a change of possession, the clock rolls immediately. As Zach Champion rolls. Throws one low, caught by Jonathan Holland for a gain of 6. And Rod is down on the Fresno State sideline. And Rod, Trevor Chambly's condition?
It's bad news for him. He's got a significant knee injury, according to the medical staff. And they packed him in ice. He's very distraught with a towel over his head, talking to one of the trainers. But they did say it's a significant knee injury.
Trevor Chambly from Queens, New York. A junior college transfer that came this past summer. And Patrick Jackson is brought down about a yard shy of a first down. You have to figure it's now 4-down territory potentially for Louisiana Tech with under 3.5 minutes to play. They need a touchdown.
Well, not so fast. 3.5. They still have their timeouts. If they don't pick it up here, I'm not sure they'd go for it. They're on their own 33. You could still kick the ball and play good defense, use your timeouts, and get the ball back.
Well, they are certainly coming out of the huddle somewhat deliberately, although now Champion hustles them up to the line. Here comes Jackson. He has the first down. Across the 35 out to the 37 with 3:01 to go. Now down to 3 minutes as the clock is stopped.
Well, they've been successful with that sprint to the line and get the ball up on a quick count all game long. It makes the defense have to line up very quickly, recognize the formation very quickly, and they're still thinking and getting settled in their stance when the ball is snapped.
Yeah, and Trevor, you have to think that they have time to run the read option with the quarterback where they've had some success, and you have to think Fresno State would try and blitz that side.
Well, see, I would like to see Louisiana Tech go play action pass over the top when that happens.
Champion again under pressure, takes a hit downtown, makes the connection with Josh Wheeler, and he's tripped up inside the 5, working on Marcus McCauley. Marcus McCauley has had a tough season. It just got tougher. First and goal, Louisiana Tech with 2.5 minutes to play. A gain of 60.
This is a double move. Take a look at Wheeler. He makes a fake, and he goes up inside, and now he turns on the Jets. McCauley's experienced. He doesn't get fooled by the double move, but I think he's a little bit underestimating the speed of Wheeler when he stretches out those long legs.
Well, you know, the other thing, Trevor, is that his fundamentals just went south on that play. He was in a press position, playing deep third, and he didn't backpedal. He just bailed out.
Jackson at the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Tech. We are tied with 2:20 remaining as Patrick Jackson goes over from 3 yards out. And the point after could give Louisiana Tech the lead.
Jackson really ran with authority down here. That goal line, he just busted through a would-be tackler. And I can hear the pads just slamming together as I was down here at about the 5-yard line right near him.
Rod, those pads are over flesh. And keep in mind that Jackson has been playing with an injured shoulder all game long.
Horwedel on to try and give Louisiana Tech the advantage. The point after hits the upright, no good. Do you believe it? Is that the way this season has gone for both of these teams? From ecstasy to agony as Horwedel hits the upright, and we remain tied at 27.
Horwedel is a good kicker, but he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities this year. The offense hasn't scored a lot of touchdowns, and usually they've been so far behind, or often, that when it comes time for field goal range, they've gone for it on fourth down. And so we're late in the season, but Horwedel hasn't had a whole lot of kicks during the game.
So now a chance for Fresno State. They are about to get the football back, and a little bit more of a margin for error as we are now tied rather than trailing by a point. And God, how many times tonight have we seen Fresno State bring that blitz, and have we seen Zach Champion simply put a little too much air under the ball, a little too much strength with the arm, and outthrow his receivers? Well, a lot of times to change a game around, it only takes one long-distance connection, and finally Louisiana Tech beat the blitz.
Well, that's right, and they did also beat the zone coverage behind it since it wasn't man-to-man, but McCauley a little bit lackadaisical in getting back into his area, and the double move, as Trevor mentioned, just put it out there for them.
Yeah, and Rod, you were in perfect position to see that, because he streaked right down the sideline where you were standing, and that's what I anticipated. They haven't really tried many vertical passes, and I figured they might, and this time they did, and it worked.
Yeah, and the odd thing about it, Trevor, it shouldn't work against that coverage.
Horwedel wants to keep the ball away from Chaston West, and a fair catch called for, and made at the 24-yard line. As Raynard Camp made the fair catch. So a special teams strategic move by Louisiana Tech to keep it away from Chaston West. And they will give Fresno State the football at their own 25-yard line. They have all their timeouts remaining. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. And a field goal would win it. Dwayne Wright, the lone setback. He is already over 200 yards rushing tonight. He's at 250 on the night. And adding to it, 11 more yards for Dwayne Wright, and a flag thrown as he's brought down at the 37-yard line. They might have gotten a hold of the face mask on the way down, and this will be a crucial call, especially if it is of the 15-yard variety. That would put Fresno State in Louisiana Tech territory.
Well, there's no sense of panic on the Fresno State sidelines.
Personal foul, face mask, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Wow.
Well, if you're Fresno State, this is right up your alley. You want this to be the last drive of regulation. No sense in making any risky plays here. Either to have a field goal try or run it out to overtime.
Well, you're right. I mean, Wright's run for 250, 260. You might as well keep pounding him.
262 yards. That gave him the new record at Fresno State, and he's not going to bounce here. He may have lost a half yard on the screen with 1:46 to go, but what a night for Dwayne Wright.
He's been the guy we thought he would be. He's a powerful runner. He's broken a lot of tackles tonight. He's shown you a lot of speed. Only one problem tonight, one fumble in a tough situation. Other than that, he's been extraordinary.
And even though he's got a year left of eligibility, he's already declared for the NFL draft because he's got a wife and 2 children, and those kinds of plays show that I think he will make an NFL team.
Second down and 12. Brand Stater play action. Chaston West comes underneath, picks up 2. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Mark Dillard made the stop. Now it's third down and 10 with a minute and a half to play.
Hey, Trevor, I find it odd that there was a sense of not wanting to try to get the ball down the field for Fresno State.
Well, Rod, I think it's probably a good thing. I mean, if they are able to at least not make the big mistake, then they can take this thing to overtime. But they do have a field goal kicker in Clint Stitzer, whose range is 55 yards. So this is actually a huge play. If they can get a first down here, they've got a chance to win this thing even from long range.
Well, Brand Stater's been pretty solid in the second half. protected the football. You only need 10 yards to keep your drive going. And you've got Fernandez out there still.
That's right, Joe Fernandez. He's on your side of the field, Rod.
Louisiana Tech is last in Division I in total defense. Can they get a stop on 3rd and 10? Brant Stater has time, double clutches, comes underneath, and he has Fernandez for the first down. To the 32-yard line of Louisiana Tech, Mark Dillard made the stop.
Remember the number 1, Tony Moss, has shin splints, and look what Fernandez does. He cuts and comes back. He forces Moss to backpedal and then plant and come forward. Moss can't do it quite as fast because when he does it, he's in a lot of pain, and Fresno State takes advantage.
Fresno State calls their first timeout as Clint Stitzer starts to think about what he may have in front of him, which would be a potential game-winning opportunity with 1:01 to go. And now, guys, obviously clock management becomes an issue as well for Fresno State. Ideally, if you can have the football about 20 yards closer to the goal line and make sure that there's no more than about 10 seconds to go, that would be Fresno State's optimum situation. We'll see if they manage the clock here in the last minute and second.
Well, they have lots of options right now. They still have their 2 timeouts. No reason why they can't run right. They've run him very well tonight. But the other thing, Fernandez is pretty much open whenever he wants to be. He's a great route runner. It wasn't even close that last route, and you have the sense that there's not a cornerback out there that can play with him. So you can throw that ball again if you need to, if you're Fresno State.
Yeah, right. I agree. They're on the 33-yard line right now. If they can push it up to the 30, they're within Clint Stitzer's max range. I think now on first down is the opportunity to go play action pass and take a long shot, because on 2nd and 3rd down, they ought to be able to get those 3 yards.
I would agree with that, particularly with Fernandez. You've got the ball to the short side. You've got a lot of room to the wide field to work with.
Well, let's see what the strategy is on 1st and 10 with 61 seconds remaining. Fernandez goes to the top of your screen. Caston left is to the near side left. Right dots the eye. It will be Dwayne Wright. Has a lane. Into the secondary. He might find the end zone. Forget a field goal. They get a touchdown. What a night for Dwayne Wright. The go-ahead touchdown for Fresno State. A 33-yard rumble for the future NFL draft choice.
Well, they put the formation into the short field and run the zone with the cutback. That gives them an advantage to the wide side of the field. We talked about the wide side being open to them for throwing. It was also there for running.
Louisiana Tech is second to last in Division I football in yards per game, average on the ground. They allowed 224 yards per game rushing to their opponents. Well, they've allowed 295 yards alone to Dwayne Wright.
Rob, what impressed me most about that run by Wright was not just his speed, but how he was able to change directions when he broke into the open field, running full speed at an angle towards the corner of the end zone. Then he planted and went straight towards the goal line with Antonio Baker in pursuit. And that ability to change direction for a big running back at full speed is something that the NFL is going to love.
And something else, guys, that Pat Hill told us that he thinks definitely plays into Dwayne Wright's draft future is he can block as well. He's good at blitz pickup. So based on what we've seen tonight, boy, is he the complete package. The Great Alaskan Shootout is coming up next. College basketball is on deck. 53 seconds to go in the 4th quarter as Dwayne Wright has been the story. Still a hope, though, for Louisiana Tech. They trail by a touchdown. 53 seconds remaining. They have their timeouts. And now let's see from a special team standpoint where Clint Stitzer puts the kickoff. Patrick Jackson has a kickoff return for a touchdown. Tonight, he's deep with Newman. And it's a high, deep kick. Returnable for Jackson from the 8. And Louisiana Tech needs a return. He's tripped up shy of the 30 with 44 seconds to go. And a reminder, even more college football comes your way tomorrow. Number 12, Boise State looks to finish the season undefeated as they would like to BCS Berg. That's at 4:15 on ESPN2. Then at 7:45 on ESPN, number 20 Wake Forest in Maryland. A spot in the ACC championship game is on the line for Wake Forest. Champion over the middle. That's a first down. The clock stops. Eric Newman makes the catch. Shot across the 40-yard line. 37 seconds to go. 3 timeouts still for Louisiana Tech. They must have a touchdown. The clock rolls. Quickly, Champion takes the snap. Up the seam. Intercepted. Picked off for the second time by Damon Jenkins. And that will do it. Jenkins had an interception earlier on tonight in the end zone of Zach Champion that short-circuited a first-half drive and a scoring opportunity for Louisiana Tech. And he does it again. Only the 4th interception of the season for Fresno State and the 3rd of the year for Damon Jenkins.
Rod, I was standing right behind Zach Champion at an angle and saw the flight of that ball from the same angle that Champion had when he threw it. And I can tell you that there was a corner up short, a safety over the top, another receiver down there, and it is a real jumble. And Champion threw it in there hoping that his guy would come down with it because you couldn't see anything.
Louisiana Tech spends a timeout, and that gives Zach Champion a moment more to think about on senior night. The fact that his second interception to Damon Jenkins puts it away for Fresno State. Now, Champion is a junior, so he's going to come back and have another opportunity next year for Louisiana Tech, and this will be a learning experience for him.
I'm impressed with how Champion has played today. Yeah, he's had the interceptions, but at the same time, he has been pounded, and he has played with great courage and really a lot of pluck. P-L-U-C-K, pluck is the way I describe it. Playing like Ken Stabler, just finding a way to make it happen. And he's got a loss for his team today, but I think personally, he'll look back eventually when the emotion fades away as a game he can be proud of. And I'm standing right behind him on the bench. He's on the side, and he's all by himself. And now finally his teammates are coming over to console him.
6 seconds to go as Louisiana Tech spends another timeout. Mathematically, they have no chance. They are spending their timeouts here after Fresno State took a knee on first down. And Rod Gilmore, an opportunity to confer with Pat Hill. Game's not even over yet, and already Rod is, I'm sure, giving Pat some fashion tips.
Hey, Bob, where are you? Where are you? You're not down here. You're up there.
Brandstater takes a knee, and Louisiana Tech will allow the final seconds to wind down, and that will do it. So Fresno State, still with their hope of running the table and winning their final 4 games intact. 34-27 is the final. As Fresno State comes to Louisiana Tech and avenges the last 2 seasons' worth of losses that they have suffered at the hands of Tech. And Brandstater played well tonight, but certainly the night was carried by Dwayne Wright. Pat Hill standing by with Rod.
Well, Coach, you had a 7-game losing streak, and you come in here and you get this win. How did you get your team to refocus?
It's been tough, but I got to give a lot of credit to our players. We've got a lot of young players that have had to step up and play, and we're a work in progress, but all I can say is the dogs will be back.
Well, speaking of one of those dogs, how about the young man who had a record-breaking night tonight, 295 yards?
I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. There's just one play we're going to talk about, but I'm really proud of Dwayne. He's done a great job for us. He's been a leader all year.
Thanks.
All right, Dwayne, come over here. What was going on tonight? 295 yards. You had the one fumble. What were you guys feeling, particularly on that last play when you ran for the touchdown?
Well, I'll tell you the first thing. It was my little daughter's birthday today. Nalia, happy birthday. I told you I can get a touchdown for you, and I did. But what was going through my mind is, just the heart. I didn't want to come out of here losers. They beat us 2 years in a row, so it was time for me to change that.
Okay, Fresno State, you've been there a while. Bowl games this year, not a bowl game. What's this game mean for you guys and the seniors?
This game mean a lot for us. Coach Hill told us to play hard for these last 4 games, and that's what we did. We're in a 3-game winning streak, and we can go nothing but up now and set the stone for our freshmen and sophomore for next year.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, back up to you, Bob.
All right, Rod, so Fresno State wins at 34-27. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, as Fresno State is now above 500 in the WAC. They are now at 4-3, and we have had a great time. Great job by Rod Gilmore and Trevor Maddich on the sidelines tonight. So for Rod and Trevor, I'm Bob Wischusen. College basketball is next. Scott Reese is standing by in our college basketball studio.
All right, Bob, thanks so much. And college basketball